shoes.
Tennis
Yeah?
shoes.
There you go.
Tennis shoes.
Yeah.
That's what you yell at me about, like on a daily basis.
I don't know. You got tennis shoes. Do you even play tennis?
I used to. You tried to get me to play. You tried to get me to play.
All right.
All right.
Where are you guys?
This is surprisingly not the most embarrassing moment that I've
We
had.
are. So I'm in Houston alone. Two of us are in Houston, and one is in New York.
New York
right?
City.
Where? Oh, in New York City. Okay, I live there.
You do?
Really? I've never been to New
Wait,
York.
no, back before you guys were
Oh,
born.
gosh.
Yeah, way wild.
Oh,
way wild.
there you go.
Holy crap! Yeah.
Yeah.
There you
Upper
go.
West Side, Upper East Side, Gramercy Park.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm
Gotcha.
in downtown by the World Trade Center.
Okay. It's not there
Really?
anymore. But okay.
It's definitely.
Yeah, I saw when you were walking home, man. I was like, wow. Well, wherever you
Yeah.
were walking to.
Yeah, no, I was walking home.
Yeah, I was a little worried for you, man. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know. It just looked,
Oh, I'm not worried about a lot. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. I was a
Buck
little.
50.
I was a little worried, dude. I probably shouldn't have been, but can't help it. You like family, so I gotta make sure
I
you stay.
appreciate that.
Make sure you're good, man. Make sure
I
you're
appreciate
good.
that. I'm glad
All right.
somebody's worried.
Oh man, we worried about you. Like I said, you family. You may be from another mother, but you still family.
Yes, sir.
You still family.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that. It's
All right,
family
let's
all
get-
around.
Let's get this thing kicked off. So, obviously, I'm trying to see. We are still kind of waiting for people to join, but again, even if we go live, people can always check out the replay and all that other stuff. I'm working
Yes,
the phone and working.
Can you just see a room?
I work the phone and I work Facebook.
I can definitely do it in my room. I'm just gonna readjust my location within the
Oh, you're
house.
fine.
Just from my mom, man. I'll be right back.
Yeah, just let us know.
Got it.
All right. So, starting off and kicking this off the right way, we got a couple of topics we want to touch on, and the first one is going to be the obvious. Travis Scott release, bro.
Travis Scott.
Travis Scott 6 release.
What a man. What a man.
So, my question is, how do you think it went? What was on your mind?
Yeah.
All that great stuff. What happened? What's on your mind? How you feel about it overall? All that good stuff.
All right. Sorry about that, boys.
You're
good.
fine.
Do you wanna start, or I can go first if you want. It's up to you, Cody.
Oh, it's up to you.
If you want to start, you can go. I got a really funny story about this, like how mine went.
There you go.
Oh.
Let Max go.
Go
All
ahead.
right. So, yeah, can y'all hear me? Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Damn.
Sweet. Okay. So it was on the sneakers app, and I entered the drawing like immediately. Took an L on the Travis Scott website, and it was So what happened was that I actually I actually got into the raffle, won it, and I got the receipt, and it was you got them, bought it, and then I immediately right after I get a sneakers notification that says your order did not go through due to a problem with payment.
Oh,
And so I immediately freak the fuck out. And I'm like, I did not just take an L from Citizens Bank.
oh
So
my.
I call them up immediately. I call them up, and I'm on hold for like an hour and a half because, that's just how my life is. And, the person who initially gets it, explains to me that it was declined due to possible fraudulent activity.
Oh,
And so I explained to this woman, and this, total props to this woman at Citizens Bank. She is very, very nice. She is very nice, but she's going to say something that's going to make you cringe. And she says, what'd you buy the sneakers? What'd you buy? And I said, it was a sneaker release, the Travis Scott ones. And she says, what type of sneakers cost $275? And the Travis Scott ones. It was like there was a lot of hype around it. And she said,
Yeah.
The sicko mode guy. The sicko mode guy.
Oh,
The
Wow.
sicko mode guy.
All right.
And I
yeah.
am like,
I've actually, man, it's funny that you mentioned that. Dean, remember what I told you, Lean, about the whole the kaleidoscopes?
Yeah.
Same thing happened to me. I won the kaleidoscopes, and I bank at a bank when I was younger, man. Like I just messed up, my accounts. So I got this like second chance bank to really rebuild my credit. So I got it like in 2003. And I've always used the bank, but I've never really used the bank for any raffles. And I didn't know that my card was attached to the Nike account.
Mm-hmm.
So I just kind of went with it. Got the notifications like, I won. And then they declined my damn payment. So I lost the kaleidoscopes, man. Like I was one of the few people to hit them.
That's
Like you never
heartbreaking.
wearing those. I had no idea that I had like lost the thing until like the next day. I didn't look through my emails because my emails are attached to my work account. So when the emails kind of scroll through, I don't see everything that comes through. And like that Monday, I'm like, man, I haven't got any notifications. And I look, I got a big email from my bank saying fraud activity. We identify fraudulent activity, from Nike. And I'm like, whoa, lost out on it. Lost out big time, bro. I I feel for
that sucks.
I don't know what I would do.
I feel for you like big time. Like it sucks. Whew.
Yeah, it
But
does
this
suck.
one was bigger than that one. So like this release,
I check like how much they're going for right now. See what I missed out on.
yeah,
Because
this release is bigger.
I just want to see how much they're going for. Does anyone know like right now?
Well, that's what we're gonna talk about.
A
So
lot.
let's just kind of go through the motions on this. So talk to me about how you think the release went, like overall. Like what's on your mind, what's on your heads, like what do you feel about it? Like what do you think?
For me personally, I've not been super into these sneaker releases as of recently. And this was one of those ones where I was like, look, I'm actually starting getting back into this. I started college, priorities. I'm paying a lot of money to be going to college in New York City, and I had to have my priorities, right? So the sneakers just are not the priority for me, 100%. But I was like, I have a little extra time. I'm doing well with my academics. I think I can, start to get back into this. I was like, I'm gonna start with these Travis Scotts, and I'm gonna stay up all night, and I'm gonna get these online releases, BSTN and Travis Scott website, and I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do like my usual shebang thing and kind of like stay up all night like I used to in high school and get these releases and make a few $100 and like be happy, right? Like I put the work in, I'm gonna get rewarded, right? It's always what it was. I was like, you put in that work and you're gonna get rewarded, and that's. And I'm not gonna lie, like I was gonna resell them. I had no intentions of wearing these shoes. And I'm on the Travis Scott website, and I pay for Discord servers. And if you guys don't know what Discord servers, long story short, they are basically, I guess the best way I know how to describe them is to pay to play. And you get access to monitors and stuff that basically monitors websites. I get notifications faster than anyone else. So it's like Soul Links and J23 on Coke. And that's the best way I know how to describe the Discord servers. And I have my Discord servers, and I noticed that they changed the link. Travis Scott drops all his merch on traviscott.shop.secure Shopify or whatever his website is for his merch. And you can make like bypasses. You can do certain stuff to like get yourself a better upper hand on those Shopify sites. But he ends up switching the domain about 20 minutes before, and changes it to aj6.traviscott.shop.com. And I knew, and I was ready. I was like on top of it. I was like, oh, they're actually dropping the 6s tonight. Like I'm gonna get this. I'm sitting on the Travis Scott site. I have 3 tabs. Like I'm ready. I have all my friends going for it. And I go, I know better. And only a 10.5, an 11, a 12, and a 13 and 14 load. Nothing below that. And I'm refreshing on the dot. It doesn't even, and they were supposed to release at 12, and they didn't. What happened is there was too many people, or from what I've heard, is there was too many people on the old Travis Scott site. So what they did is that they were waiting for traffic to die down. You had I don't know how many people. I couldn't just throw a number out there, but you had like maybe 100,000 people just sitting there refreshing, including bots.
I was one of them.
Yeah, of course, and refreshing that site at 12 o'clock, waiting for it to drop because that's when the timer went off, and there was just too many people there. So And then they finally loaded at 12:30 on the dot, and I did not get anything, nothing, not a
So
single shoe.
did you cart?
I carded on 3, and I carded 3 14s.
Okay.
And so because I was like, I'm gonna go for the 10.5, and my friend went for the 10.5, and I was like, I know I'm gonna go for a 14 because the 14 is gonna be the last one to sell out, and I'll take anything. I'm like, I know 10.5 is gonna sell so much better, but I'll take anything I can get. So I'm gonna try to go for 14 because I think it's gonna be the last one to sell out. I didn't get it. I carded it. I was typing at one. I was in queue on the other two for the whole time, and then the one I did get through, and then when I got through, it said sold out.
Wow. What's up, D Money?
I was broken. I was so upset. I was like, I wasn't broken. That's a lie. But like, I was definitely like, I put in all this work to get it because that's not an L. Like, I don't take that as an L. And we kind of had this conversation privately, and you did post it in the groups. It's not an L to me. Like, I just sat and clicked a few buttons on my computer. You know, I didn't take an L. I got unlucky, and that's what it was. And I take that and move on. And, you know, oh well, I stayed up a little bit. I lost a little sleep. Whatever.
But it's not as detrimental.
It's not as detrimental to me. And it was very disappointing. And I think we're going to get deeper into that later. But and I ended up sleeping so heavily I didn't even get the sneakers release. I slept right through it.
Gotcha.
I'm like a baby too, and I don't miss it.
Okay.
All right. I'm like, whatever. It is what it is.
Gotcha. All right, cool.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, for me, I lost, so I don't have a really good story. Like, I was pissed off. I'm not gonna lie. I was mad because I'm a big 6 fan, so I love 3s, 4s, and 6s. Like, that's just me. And when I didn't get it, somewhere in my mind, dude, I had hit every Travis Scott release with the exception of the 4s, because I didn't even try for the 4s. And I had been like hitting every release, bro. Like, no matter what it was, I was like hitting everything to come through. And I was content. Like, I was actually like, yo, I'm gonna hit this release. And then I talked to somebody, and we'll get into it. But man, I talked to someone that gave me hope. And everything that the person said was going to happen actually happened. It just didn't happen for me. So I think that's why I took it so hard. Like, man, you told me everything. I was prepared. I looked at it. I saw this. I saw that. But then after, what did they say? After the dust clears and the dust settles and smoke clears.
You see
I realized
that sold out sign.
Yeah.
You know what? I realized why I didn't get it. I'm like, now I get why I did not get it. Like, I get it. I get it. I got why I didn't get it. I had to go back and replay some historical data, but I'm like, okay, you know what? I don't know if I can be mad, bro. Like, I really can't be upset why I didn't get it, considering what I got in my closet and considering what I didn't hit on those apps. I can't really be mad. So I got it.
Yeah.
What's up, HTX Life? What's up, brother?
That is, man. It was just one of those things, man. It wasn't. I don't know. Let's get into the sneakers release because I personally did not participate in the sneakers release. But I wasn't there something special you were telling me earlier?
So, okay, and everybody, you gotta keep me on this. So, I hear that there was 140,000 pairs.
I also heard that.
Okay, so
I heard that too, but I don't believe that. I don't believe it, honestly.
Wow.
I think that they lied and that there was less. Like, that is actually what I think.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, I heard there was 140, and I heard that
But
there was
how many y'all think went to the public?
man, about 70,000, maybe 70.
Less than 100,000, huh?
Yeah, I think less than 100,000, but that's just me.
All I know is someone has my pair.
It's funny how this day and age has changed. We're all preparing digitally versus camping out back in the day. Just thought I might throw that out there. Talking about how y'all looking at the websites and all that stuff, man. It's just crazy how times has totally it's been changed, but now everybody's kind of like accepting it. So if you're tired of taking L's, you try to find a way digitally. And like Riley said, man, he wouldn't even like heard about it. I mean, I'm pretty sure you've been through a lot of. You seem like a guy who's been through a lot of L's. Then,
Yo, let me tell you about an L. An L was those satin black toes.
Oh, don't get me started on that.
Really?
So here's what this satin black toes. This is
That
what
was a major.
Oh my god,
That
man.
was major for everybody.
the
I
satin
stayed up
black
all night for
toes.
that. I actually
I
stayed
stayed
up.
up all night in line. So like I'm telling you, this was like the last release before I went off to college. So what happened was my situation is that as I moved to college, my family was moving to a whole different location. So this is the last release in my area because after I get out of college for winter break, like I'm not going home. Like I'm going to my home is now halfway across the country, so I don't know where I'm going.
Damn.
So this is like the last time I'm gonna be doing. This is the last time I will be doing a release in my area. I was like, I'm gonna go after this. Like I'm gonna get this. Like I had all my friends. I had bodies. Like, I was deep, and I was like, we're about to get these. I'm gonna cook. I knew the Foot Locker. I had my connections at Finish Line. Like Finish Line was doing first come first serve. I don't know if y'all remember that.
Yeah.
And it was 14 pairs. I said, I'm gonna get every pair. I'm gonna get every pair. I'm eating. Or 24 pairs. And I said, I'm gonna get 14 pairs. That's what it was. We had 24. I said, 14. I'm gonna eat. Like, I said, I'm buying everyone dinner. Like, we're going to, like, Nobu. Like, it's clips. Like, we're getting this. And I was hyping all my friends up. We get in line at 6 p.m. the day before. And hindsight being 2020, this security guard is looking at me crazy. And I decided to be respectful. And I said, instead of having this man call his superior and kick us out, I said, let me be the bigger man, walk up to him and be like, are we bothering? Is there any problems? Blah, 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 blah. Long story short, security runs us in circles and basically tells us we can't line up, we can't do this. And we do, at the end of the day, I'm not going to go deep into it because I talk about it for hours, but I do everything security tells me to do. And then the people, we ended up not being able to secure a single pair
Well,
because of what the security told us. And I warned them and I said, people are going to break these rules and don't take my kindness for weakness because people will take advantage of you. And when they do, those are people that are going to get pairs and you're doing an injustice. And I was like, look, like I'm trying to do what I have to do out here. And I'm trying to be respectful and be nice to the situation.
So what was the difference between that release and this release?
That release,
You didn't. How come you don't? You seem not to be. You seem to be unbothered about this release.
because this release was online. I did not stand outside for 16 hours. I didn't bring 14 people to. I didn't bring 14 people. I didn't pay for Ubers to 30 minutes outside of a mall. Like I did 2 trips in my truck and then I paid Ubers for 2 other people to this place and we stood in line all night and like we had like us pouring out of my truck. Like I had this 2001 Nissan Xterra and there's 14 of us like packed into this thing. I mean, we're not driving anywhere. We're just chilling in the parking lot because they told us we couldn't stand inside the line. And I'm doing everything. And the biggest thing for me was that security guard told us not to do certain things that other people ended up doing to secure themselves pairs.
Yeah.
Like they were like, you're not allowed to line up before 8 a.m. I was like, I don't know how that's going to work. And then it changed to 6 a.m. And then it was 5 a.m. And then it ended up being people just lined up at 4. And basically there was too many people for the security guards to handle it. And they just said, fuck it, and gave out raffle tickets. They just got upset. They got overwhelmed. They just handed out raffle tickets.
Let me ask you this. So is this Travis Scott thing being a draw? You think like the draw was like the security guard this time?
The draw isn't a security guard.
Well,
Think so?
I mean, in a way. But the thing is like the security guard is a human being. Oh, see, now we're getting into a different conversation.
and I think, like, so first let's kind of go back with the Travis Scott release.
Yeah.
The stock itself. Nick just said there was 65K. I heard that there were like 140 altogether. Travis Scott only got like 50 or something like that.
You know what's the crazy thing? Like nobody knows.
And that's I don't think anyone
knows. You know, it's gone based by like people that like credible. I guess I don't know. You don't know. You know.
You don't know if anybody is credible. I mean, when you're talking about stock, because again, when you talk about friends and family pair, and when you're talking about pair that go to these T0 stores. And then when you talk about pairs that go to these,
there were international stores too that carry this.
The Dubai, those are also those are tier 0 locations though. It's still tier 0.
Yeah, it's still like, isn't it still T0?
Yeah.
like those stores are. And then
From my knowledge.
yeah, you and I talk, you and I talk, bruh, all the time. And what I tell you all the time, like with social status, man, if I had a bigger platform, I would go after social status any chance I got. Like any chance I got, I would go after them with the wrath of God because I know that, and I don't mind them doing it. It's just that don't waste people's time. Like, don't get me to come into a store, have me sign up for a fake raffle, and I saw
So before we get to the store, and while we speaking on this app, I did see a lot of new people that say, "Hey, man, I hit for the first time," versus like the regular people, and they were like, "Man, what?" I didn't really hear much besides the people that don't mind speaking their voice on this as far as
I
what
saw it a
Nick
lot.
would say the OG. You
so
think you saw it a lot?
you want
So
me to
So
what you
they
want me to
feel
do?
it. They
Well,
feelings came out. Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now, man.
I'll
A
present the
lot of
evidence.
emotions
Yeah,
came out for this release.
I
it
got
was.
it from the horse's mouth, so I don't know if you want to hear it or
So
not, but
I'll
I got it
present
from
the
the horse's
evidence, and I
mouth.
think you should explain it.
Okay, all right.
So
So go ahead.
from what?
I can give you what I know from the horse's mouth.
Yeah, those guards, it was different. I probably did get hustled, but it is what it is, man. I'm like, I took it. It was upsetting in the moment. I'm just responding to this comment. It was upsetting in the moment, but I took it. I took it. What am I supposed to do? Sit here and complain about it? It was a life lesson. I was like, all right, you're gonna work hard, and you gotta you gotta roll with it. I'm not. It is what it is. I got hustled. So what, man? I
And
had
you
a
know
good time
what,
with my
Nick?
friends.
Yeah.
No, that's the mystery about the whole thing. Like a lot of people were like, "Man, I always hit on draws, or I always hit on whatever." And this time, man, it was a lot of. But
Yeah,
you know what? You're so crazy because it seems like a lot of people hit.
So
a lot of people
I was
hit that
given
never hit before.
the word. It was like, hey, a while back, um, about a year and a half ago, I talked to a guy. I can't really give all the details because we'll get caught up in something. But we talked, and I just made just a general statement. I said, "Hey, we were just talking about distribution and all that. We weren't even talking about people being happy about shoes or anything like that. We were just talking about distribution, procurement, supply chain, all that good stuff." And I said, "Hey, why do you all allow like stores like these resale stores and all that gobble up your inventory? Why don't you just charge more for the shoes?" And his comment to me was, "Well, we have a plan. I can't go into detail, but but I got a plan." And I was like, "Oh, okay."
Okay.
And I left it alone. 2 weeks before the release, I talked to this person again. And I said, "Hey, Travis Scott, sixes are coming out. What's the stock number?" He's like, "I can't tell you none of that." He's like, "But let me tell you what I can give you." I said, "Okay." He says, "You're going to see 15 to 20% of accounts that you've never seen before hit." And I said, "No, that's not going to be true." And the funny thing is, I talked about this. I think you and me and you, Lean, talked about this. I said, "Yo, I think this release is going to be a little bit different than what we've been expecting." He said, 15 to 20% of people that have never hit before will hit. He said, and then right after that is going to be people that have like purchased things through the sneakers app, like just GR releases, all that good stuff. They're going to all be prioritized. And I was like, "No, that wouldn't be right." And then I started looking at the Instagram feeds. And I'm like, "Yo, these people like my first time, my first time,
Yeah,
my first
look at Tyler.
yeah,
If you
my
can
first time."
if you can bring that up. He was like, "It was my first dub." Hey man,
Yeah,
first let me tell you, congratulations. I want to go to
congrats.
you for the
Congratulations.
dub. Astros for the dub. But
Yeah, I ain't winning. I'm sorry.
No Astros, man. I hate the Yankees. I hate the Yankees.
Houston is
Go
winning right now,
Yankees.
man.
Go Yankees, man.
But
Come on, man.
anyway,
I'm from New York. I'm
back
from New
back
York.
back on this, man.
Don't do that to me.
Like I'm really, I think there's a balance right now with this release. I think they did a little balance. They're like, you know what? Let's let some newbies hit versus somebody who hits all the time.
Is it a good thing or a bad thing?
You know,
It's a good thing because you know why? It keeps the people who hits like, oh man, I'm gonna keep trying. My luck is good. Versus
Absolutely.
the new, and then guess what? They just got a new wave of people be like, oh
Mhm.
shit, it's my first time hitting. So guess what's gonna happen on the
Hmm.
next one? They'll be like, you know what? I
I'll
hit
give it a
last
shot.
time. Maybe I'm on the street. You know,
Yeah.
people
Yeah, right.
believe all this like superstitious thing. What's so crazy is like virtual superstition.
Hmm.
She's like,
But
oh man, does my email get there first? Does my email look
so think
attractive?
about it like this: emotionally, to his point, think about it emotionally, right? You win that Travis
And
Scott. If you don't win anything after that Travis Scott, do you really care? Because you're in your mind. So let me give you mine since December 18th. I won, which everybody won. I hit the Concords. Right behind that, I missed out on the origin stories, right? I was upset. The very next win, I hit the Fear of God's OG. The next Monday, I hit the Purple Lobsters. Then I hit another Fear of God.
Uh,
Then I hit the Satin Black Toes. I hit the Travis Scott ones. I hit the Travis Scott lows. And what happened to me, based on his conversation, I got shifted in the queue, bro. I got just thrown behind.
hey,
And it's like,
speaking about that, somebody earlier this week was like, hey man, you going for the Sakai's? I'm just like, bruh, I go for the go. You know what I mean? So I'm like, bro, just try it.
yep,
And he was like, man, what? You know what? He brought an interesting point. He said, you think they're gonna give me 2 dubs with the Travis Scotts? And I'm like, man, what do you want to do? He's like, man, I just want to try. And I'm just like, hey, man, you want to try? Fuck it, try it. He tried, he hit. You know, he tried for the Travis Scotts, no hit.
yep.
Nice.
And I didn't go for the Sakai's because I felt,
I didn't see anybody who hit the Sakai's
yeah,
and
if I
the
went for him,
Travis Scotts.
it was going to throw me back. Like it was going to make it
This
hurt.
is fucking. This
Yeah.
is
I
virtually.
feel
It's like, oh shit, I can't fucking. Uh, what's going on?
I haven't
Nobody
hit
knows.
anything.
Yep. Like he
Not a thing.
Nobody knows.
My whole account is full of bricks. Bricks. I would pull it up but I would like end my live because this is on my phone. But it is not good. Actually, I can pull this on my computer right now. It is not good. I'll let you keep talking and then I'll hit you with what I have.
No, but
Hey,
yeah,
but you know what? I on an account that I have, I hit on Foot Locker in Chicago, a Foot Action in Chicago.
I did not. And that is disturbing.
So when I saw it, I was just like, I could breathe
That's like disturbing to me.
super easy.
I did
I
not
could
hit
breathe
and I spent a
super
lot of money at
easy.
Foot Action.
Wait, did you go to Chicago?
My
No, he didn't
account,
go to Chicago. No, he
My-
didn't go to freaking Chicago, bro.
my shoes were there.
His shoes were there, but he didn't go.
My
He didn't
shoes
go.
were there, and,
No.
and it got picked up. But
Okay.
you know what I'm saying?
All
I'm
right.
good. You know, one in Chicago, and it was so crazy. My relative's account hit in LA. You know, so I'm like, damn, that's crazy. We're all the way. I have no idea, man. But I ain't gonna lie, these accounts were big spending accounts at Foot Action.
See,
Just,
so Foot
just to give you
Action,
a
so
good,
the foot
just to
sites,
give you an
it's
idea.
about how much money you spend.
It is.
Man, yeah, you think so? Oh,
No,
yeah.
I'm
All
I'm I'm
right.
I'm positive. I
I'm
know
positive.
I'm not gonna deny that because this
I'm
one
positive.
account is like it's like fucking Willy Wonka, the fucking factory. I swear. I'm like, damn, again.
It's how much money you spend at Foot Locker. But with Nike, it was the algorithm from what I understood, and again, do not quote me on this. I'm not trying to clout chase or anything like that. But the algorithm that I was told was it was how often you play, how often you win versus how much money you spend overall with Nike. They threw all that out the window with this one. They said, you know what, it's gonna be how often you won, the time frame or the tenure of the account, and then the value, meaning how much money you spent. So this
Okay, so
whole
here's the
random
thing.
selection, I heard that it wasn't like that.
Do you
That's
think?
what I heard.
Hey Max, let me ask you this: do you think Nike gained some customers or lost some customers,
That's a really good question.
or or
All
did he
right.
lose none at all?
I know
I have
for
my Nike account pulled up. I don't mean to interrupt y'all.
yeah.
All right, so like I spent oh my gosh, so much money at Nike.
Oh man, don't worry about the spend. Trust me.
Let's so I have just like a Nike hat, Nike sweatshirt. This is before I got into shoes. First hit ever. I have been the first release I went for was the Off-White Chicago, and I went for every single release after that. The first one I ever hit was the early access for the infrared sixes. That was my first hit. Think about how big
Man,
that was like
I
a
had
two
exclusive.
and a half
I had
year.
exclusive access on it, like on my Nike account.
I did
Like,
to
yeah,
the
the member
I did to
access. Like,
the
hey, claim
Reds.
this before set, claim this before. But they
Yeah.
made a whole bunch of those.
Yeah, they did.
They made a whole bunch of those, man.
2.5 years of nothing. Every Off-White release, nothing, not a single hit, not a draw, not a
Man, you
Leo,
know what is so
nothing.
crazy? That's how they baited you in, bro.
And then
I
then
think
I
that was
got,
the bait.
but I needed to buy something to get the account going. And then, I got lucky and I hit the Courtiers. Those ones, the red stripe? I got a
Yeah.
7 in those. So I got lucky. Then I got the breads, the bread 4s. I got those early. Then I
Man,
got
you
the,
talking about a lot of mass-produced pairs, but
it
keep
just,
going.
it's literally, it's the NYC to Paris in a size 11.
If you watching, what have you hit this
Yeah.
year? Just
Um,
just
And,
drop
and,
it in the comments.
and
We got
Max,
y'all.
like, is this your first time ever doing sneaker app, or you always do sneaker app?
I actually got into sneakers like last summer. Like
Okay.
it was literally that, and then I joined the Facebook group probably 3 months ago, and that was around the time I actually started collecting. And like honestly, I'm not sure if it's bricks or not, but like the 5 pairs I got are I got thermal foam posits. I got black cement threes, true blue threes. I actually have the Travis Scott 4s. My friend got me those for my birthday, and then
But that wasn't through the app, right?
that was
You
not
got.
the that was
Okay.
my yeah that
So
was my.
what have you won through the app? Like, what
I
have
have
you?
not won anything. That if Citizens Bank
Like hype.
did not decline the payment, that would have been my first dub. That
Hey,
would
you
have
know what? I believe you because I had the fear of gods, and for some reason, man, I had this credit card I just wanted to use for shoes because it was good for points and stuff like that. Because I know I would pay it back. That one time that I changed from PayPal, it fucked me up and said, "Hey, this
Reefer, you're
didn't
gonna make
go
me cry. Stop it.
this didn't go through." And then in my heart, I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. Like I
Oh,
didn't know about the fear of gods, but I wasn't gonna wear it, but of course I was gonna try with this with a separate payment. But I don't know if that messed up anything or did bank just didn't know like where the hell is Nike charging this stuff
They
from?
do,
I thought it
man.
was
So
all coming from one spot.
no, they
Like
they
how the
they
fuck did I get
they flag
declined?
it if it's like a heavy price, like you've never spent that type of money, or if
It
the
was
merchant
brand, yeah, it was brand spanking new.
if the merchant is unidentified, it doesn't mean Nike. It's like we have no history of the merchant, and it's not at a POS like it's not a POS transaction. It'll kick you out. I'm telling you, the same thing that happened with my kaleidoscopes. I literally won the kaleidoscopes. They declined my payment. I have no idea where those kaleidoscopes went. I
Reefer
honestly, somebody else
Supra,
got them.
you say
yeah.
you win everything. You did you win this past Travis Scott's? We'll wait for you to
yeah.
answer that. But
It's crazy, man.
Max,
I
you said
think
you haven't won since last summer. That's when you
I
started your
have,
account.
I have never won one. I got into sneakers last summer, and I started using the sneakers thing. I think this past April, and I have not won a single thing since. So this would have been my
Like
first.
what did you go for though?
Okay, if I can remember correctly, I went for the. I'm sorry, my memory is shit.
Did you go for all the hype releases? Basically, there's a T.
Mostly the hype releases, but there were a few. The Mars Landing Air Maxes. I liked those, and I didn't hit on those.
Those
And
were sitters.
yeah, they
Yeah,
said
those
Those went.
flop.
Those even went to the outlets.
yeah.
those were
Yeah,
how
those,
the
Yeah,
I got a pair for
it
free.
depends on where you are though. Like,
They,
They sold
Nike
out
was like,
initially.
"Hey man, what happened to you? We'll give you a free pair." They paid me to wear them shoes, but like hype releases like the satin, Sam Black toes,
Yeah.
the
limited
Travis Scott lows. Somebody refresh me some the Sakai's,
Yeah.
any
the
Sakai's, any
yeah,
Sakai, any Travis Scott, any
off
women,
whites,
any women,
whatever.
But not any
like,
Off-Whites because
OG
I
Jordan.
I hit on the Zoom Tigers, which I was like, oh, I hit the white and the green pair, and I was like,
Hey man, they
oh, and
tricked
then I
us
was
on
like,
that shit.
what the hell?
So
Oh,
Quentin,
They tricked us on the
I've
Tigers.
never, I've never been sent a shoe that was canceled on me. The only thing that's happened to me was I won a shoe, and they subsequently canceled my payment, so I didn't get the shoe, and that only happened to me once.
I've never been sent the wrong shoe either. Or
And you're never
canceled
gonna get
order.
rid of that. You're never gonna get rid of that Mars Landing. Nobody wants that shoe, bro. I hate to say it,
No,
like
no
you
one
got to find
does.
a
Yo,
hard
you got
collector.
10 and a
Somebody
half.
that
At my win, man. I fucking, that looks fucking sick to me. I will fucking want it, man.
yeah,
Which ones?
The Mars
the
Links.
Mars Land.
If you got
It's
10 and a
it's
half, send me that. Send that shit
yeah,
my way.
yeah. And the only thing with me with Nike, I continue to win on Foot Locker and Foot Action with a lot of the stuff that I want. So I don't even go to the Nike app to even try to get stuff because I'm thinking I'm not a reseller, so I don't really need the extra pairs. Like I don't care about the extra pairs. It means nothing to me.
I
So
spent a lot of money at Foot Locker. Foot Locker, my Foot Locker account is loaded, and it's not. The numbers don't even show up anymore. I spend at least $3,000-$4,000 in Foot Locker, and getting into like the Foot Locker accounts because I know somewhat a decent amount about these. It is you have like the decent. There is the known tiers, is what I like to call them, which is the ones they highlight in their website, and that's like it's written out. Once you spend $300 or whichever, it's like Foot Action, Champs, they'll have the different numbers. I know for Foot Action, I think it's $225, and Champs is a different number. But I know for Foot Locker, it's $300. You spend $300 in a calendar in 12 months, and once you spend that, you get your platinum.
yeah, you get the VIP.
And then you get your 10, and you can get VIP regularly, and then you get
Well,
platinum.
I mean platinum VIP, yeah. To be honest with you, Alex, man, you're right, bro. Like I gotta be honest. If we had to be realistic, no. Sadly, and we need to kind of talk about that, and we're gonna really get into it. I think you kind of hit a good point. I don't think the shoe is bad, by the way. I just don't think anybody wants it, and it's a big difference. Hype has killed.
I want it because it looks sick, and I got like a bunch of clothes that would like, if I go out, it would match an outfit. So like, honestly, like that's the reason I want it. Is like it's not the fucking hype behind it. Like that's the reason I want it. And like there were no stores here in Rhode Island, so it was only online, and I didn't hit anything online. So
See, you want it for that, but sadly, man, Alex, hype has kind of killed it. And you know what? This kind of leads us to another conversation. I think we're going to spend a little bit of time on this. It's like two topics I've been
Of course.
touch. Number one, what is or do people truly believe in the term culture vulturing? And I've heard we got into a little bit of a tick, in one of the group conversations, and somebody said, "Well, is there a such thing as culture vulturing?" And they were throwing up, like, if you don't talk this way, you don't talk that way. First, quick education. Not to anybody here, so not trying to offend anyone, but culture vulturing and culture appropriation are two totally different conversations.
Separate things. Entity here, entity here. Like they're two different things.
If I walk around with Native American garb on, or even African garb, I will even go as far as saying this: I am not Kenyan. I am not Ethiopian. If I wear any of their garb and I walk around with it, even though I'm a black male, someone from that particular, heritage can say, "Bruh, you are culture appropriate. Like you're taking my culture," because I know nothing of it, especially when I'm just doing it to say I'm doing it. The term culture vulturing, and somebody brought it up. They said, "Well, you're using a slang term." Well, damn it, it is a slang term. It was a term that was created. It was meant to be created to be slang. So regardless of how you feel about it, it's still a term that we use. It's just like saying ain't. Hell, we say ain't all the time, but guess what? No one says like it's not a real term. It's just not grammatically correct. You just say not. That's not true. Not that ain't true. But to that Mars landing conversation, I do believe that culture vulturing has killed a lot of the sneaker game. And let me give you mine, and then y'all can talk through it, and I'll let y'all go through it, and y'all can talk about it. But this is my thing: when in the hell did a shoe that sits in Foot Locker become a brick or a duck because it sits in Foot Locker? Anyone that says a shoe that you want is a brick because it's sitting in Foot Locker sounds to me that they only want the shoe because the hype. They didn't want the shoe because they wanted it. That's just me.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking at, and
I know
that's
exactly what they
how I
wanted.
feel about
They wanted the money. They wanted the money. There's no resale on it. And the term and a culture vulture is literally, this is how I define a culture vulture, right? And this kind of like leads into a conversation of resellers, which we will have this today. but culture profits off of a particular culture while providing no cultural equity or value to that culture. So if you are taking and not giving anything back, that is what a culture vulture is to me. And it's trash. It's so garbage because you were saying I can't remember who exactly was saying the story about talking to a retailer. I'm just gonna invest $1 million in these shoes. I don't care about them at all, but I just
Yeah,
want like the
yeah.
money.
So, like, take this for example. You got some really big cultural trends, and I won't go into the ones that speak to race because, again, I think that's where it gets a little touchy, and we can go all day about it, and it can get offensive to some people. So I stay away from rap because if I talk about rap, then there's so much that I'm gonna bring up. But I'll go to one that I think makes a lot of sense that people can probably gravitate to: surfing and skateboarding. Right. So what people may not know about me, I actually surf.
Huh?
I haven't been in a long time, but I do. I enjoy it. It was fun. It was relaxing. Right?
You fit in well in Rhode Island. Like 90% of people here know how
Yeah.
to. You fit in well here.
Yeah. No, I'm like literally at one point I had a wetsuit. I had all that stuff, bro. Like I had everything. Even had my own board at one point in time. I even have a
Hmm.
picture on my Facebook page with the board. Um, but here's the thing, though. I never really invested in it. I just like surfing. Right? So let's say, for example, I like surfing. I just like I seen it and I'm like, man, you know what? I'm gonna take $1 million and invest in surfing. But I tell you, at some point, I'm like, you know what? I'm trying to build a brand because I enjoy surfing. Now we can say, you know what, you're not culture vulturing. But let's say that let's flip that around and just say, I was like, man, them people out there surfing. How many of you are surfing? There's 50,000 people surfing. How much you pay for surfing? Oh man, I pay $100 for each person surfing. Man, I see a profit.
But
I have
it's I
I
think
am not
that
invested in anything else other than the profit. Like I don't want
yeah.
to get in the water. I don't want to hear about
Is if you don't
what the
care
culture
for it,
is.
if you don't care for the culture, you're a vulture. Period, and you're making money out of it. That's a vulture, to me. Like if you
Yeah,
say,
But not
"Hey,
not
oh,
even
I don't
just
give
it's
a
not
damn
even just
about that.
money
It
though.
should make me $1 million." Like I have no fucking idea what I'm doing, but guess what? This motherfucker I'm invested in, he's making me money. So call me, whatever you want to. Those
and
people definitely call. I would think in their heart they'd be like, "Yeah, I'm a fucking culture vulture," but he probably
and you
won't
also
say
have
it. And then you
and for
also
all the
have those posers just act like, "Oh yeah, man,
absolutely
this is the Air Jordan patent leather." I'm like, "Huh? Excuse me?
Uh,
Patent
and you also
leather?
yeah, right.
what
What
people
model
forget
is
too.
that, sir?"
Yeah, what people
It's just
forget.
like saying, "Oh man, this is a what's that fast Ford car? That horse." Like,
Yeah,
you fucking
and what
kidding me?
people
You own
forget.
this dealership and you don't know what a Mustang is?
There's a big difference, bro.
That's
In
that's a fucking culture vulture.
It's a big difference in having business acumen. You can have business acumen, bro. Like you can
Vultures are
literally
are smart businessmen. I'll
yeah,
tell you that.
you could have business acumen. No one is knocking your business acumen. If I had $1 million to invest in something, I would invest, especially if I knew if it turned a profit. That doesn't make you less of a culture vulture. It just makes you a culture vulture that's smart.
Hmm.
I'm sorry. Like it doesn't change the scenario. Like it doesn't change the fact that when people say like what is a sneaker culture? It is people that have put their blood, sweat, and tears on what you all just talked about. Case in point, somebody used to walk up to me and used to tell me outright, bro, you just spent $175 on a pair of shoes. Are you stupid?
Well,
But now those same people that made fun of me are buying shoes to sell them. And like, man, I need to create my own store. I need to create my own online boutique. Yeah, it's a slap in the face because we got mocked and ridiculed, white, black, whatever race you were. If you were a sneakerhead, you got mocked and ridiculed for buying shoes because people said that was a waste of money. They would not turn a profit, and that was what was wrong with people in society. They buy stuff that depreciates in value. Tell me I'm wrong.
Hey man, a lot of people would call you a hater because you're hating on somebody that's a vulture. That I don't understand. You'd be like, "Oh yeah, he's just a businessman," but I understand. But label him a vulture. Don't make excuses saying that he's a good businessman. Yeah, I'll give you that. But you can't sit here and say that he's not a vulture. And that was your point to this
exactly.
whole debate, because a lot of people did not get. Yes, bro, this is not a business. This is not a business subject. This is a culture vulture subject.
Absolutely. And I think we have to realize that too. There's nothing wrong with someone making an investment. Like somebody even used the example, which I found to be just asinine. Like you you compared the person literally said, I gotta make sure I say it right because I don't even want to be disrespectful to this person. They said that's like calling a black person a culture vulture for being in the stock market. That was the dumbest shit I ever heard in my life.
Oh yeah.
I have never heard something so dumb in my entire life. Like to even let that come out of your mouth, bro. You need to take, yeah, that's stuff that crackheads say.
That just
Crackheads talk
lets you
like
know, man, that right there just lets you know how powerful this culture has become. Like it's reached the ears and the pockets of investors that don't know what's going on. All they see is the dollar sign. Look at
that. Hey,
how
Joe.
powerful this fucking release was, man. Like a lot of emotions came out. A lot of people that's been hiding came out. You know,
People were pissed. People either pissed or
people
they
were
were trolling,
pissed.
or they were
People
trolling the hell out of you.
people were trolling. People were hating.
Because I got trolled. I ain't gonna even lie. They trolled the hell out of me, and rightfully so. I deserved it. I deserved to get trolled. But nah, I mean, hey,
But you know what's
I
the
got
difference
trolled.
though? Like a lot of people from this TS6 versus the TS1 highs, everybody would be like, "Oh, that shoe ugly anyway." This was different. Like I didn't see no hate. The only hate that I saw from that is like, "Oh, y'all motherfuckers bought up all the pairs," or "Who the fuck is backdooring?"
Yeah.
That's that is the energy that I felt with this release versus like the TS1. Oh, I don't give a damn. Them shoes
You
was
know what? I wanted to ask you. Do you think that this one is more repped than the TS ones?
yeah,
I
because they had to since February
There's
to
so many
prepare
fake
for.
pairs
Bro,
out there, bro.
he had the shoe back in February at the Super Bowl when he wore that little teddy bear fanny pack. Remember when he
Yeah, yeah,
performed at
yeah,
the Super Bowl? That's
yeah.
when the shoe first emerged.
Do y'all think?
Look how
Do y'all
and you
think
know
will happen if they strictly stick? They'll never,
Never do
Alex. They'll
that.
never go.
It's
They'll never
never
go there.
again. That's
They
They'll
would.
the
They're never
crazy.
gonna do. They're never gonna do strictly camping out again. Like
yeah,
I've only been in this for
The
like probably less than a
the
year. I at least
the
know that.
physical danger that people.
absolutely.
Yeah.
No, you're right. The one thing I've always
It's
Eric.
questioned is,
dangerous.
How you
I've,
know that backdoor pairs? Eric, you know somebody? You gonna hook me up?
Yeah, you got something. Wait, hold it. Cody makes enough money. He can share.
hey, I'm right there with you. But
Look, I'm in
that whole
college. Please.
that whole like camping out for shoes, bro. I've always wondered. And I don't want to see it happen.
I just
So
look. The only thing about that I disagree about camping out for shoes, it just gets too violent. We're already an animal online. What more you think you're gonna do when you see
the thing
to see that dude in person?
I don't want to see it happen, but I've always wondered when you have like these sneaker cons and these sneaker shows, I still go back to I'm just waiting for the day for someone to run up on some 13-year-old kid and jack him for all this stuff. I
Yeah, man, that's not safe.
and
That's really not safe.
I'm not saying like it should happen.
What's
I'm
true,
just
Chris Lee?
thinking in my head like, bruh, like
I have a quick question for you guys.
you know,
I'm gonna tell you right now, man. If you don't think these freaking boutique stores are not doing the dirty business, man, you just to let you know, man. Just like with robots, it's a dirty game online. What more when you're in line in person? They'd be like, "Shit, we got 6 pairs. Shit, the rest for me and my people." you that's what. And then look at all this IG accounts because
I remember
IG
that
is
release.
based on pictures, right? So
I remember that 2000.
everybody flexing for the gram. Look, I got all the pairs. I got what you don't have. You know what I mean?
So Eric, copping from Trophy Room is damn near impossible without a bot. Without a bot, you don't cop from Trophy Room, bro.
Yeah, I
I'm
haven't seen a trophy room receipt yet,
I have yet to see one, bro.
and y'all be
If you're
careful
not
buying
physically at the
too.
store, and the store is closed down, by the way. So if you're not physically at the location, man, I have yet to see anybody produce a Trophy Room receipt to me, bro.
Yeah,
Like
all I've
ever.
seen was Nike and the people who actually probably cop from Foot Action at the physical stores. I believe those are the people that's gonna keep their pairs. Cause I didn't see anybody like kind of like bragging. It's like, hey, here you go, Foot Action receipt. I didn't see that.
Yeah.
I didn't see it. That lets me know, like, damn, how many people really. That's probably why Nike picked these places because those are the people that's probably gonna wear the shoe versus resell the shoe.
And keep in mind too, you know that's about to change, right? So Nike has went through the accounts. They've looked at their indirect retailers, and they've said like, "Yo, we're about to take the product away from you. We're about to revamp our accounts." So some of these tier zero stores won't even be able to sell them anymore, which is going to open up another issue. Those stores like Social Status, they will not exist if they don't get hype releases. They can't make it. No one is walking through foot traffic into a local Social Status just to walk into a Social Status.
Yeah, versus going to a foot action where
Yeah,
you get
it's not gonna
points,
happen.
you get rewards. You know this RSVP, this reservation program, I think is great because hey, nobody knows when you're gonna go pick up the shoe. You got a certain time to pick up the shoe, and then but guess what? After a certain amount of time that you don't pick it up, best believe there's somebody right there at the door
Waiting to
waiting,
get it.
waiting. Well, at least here in Houston, because like 2-3 hours before I go pick up my pair, it's somebody there already waiting. And you
I've
know what's
seen
so
people literally get there at 10 o'clock, 10
hell,
o'clock in the
man,
morning.
I seen
Let's
their
say
mom.
all
I
day.
seen with their moms, aunts, baby bottles, baby
Kids.
chairs, stroller. I'm like, jeez. I seen it with the black toes, with the black Santos. This one, I'm glad it didn't happen because it probably would have been fucking chaos.
I think if that shoe would have released in Houston, I can only speak for Houston. We would have had some violence.
Okay, I have a few. I have a
No,
few
I'm dead.
questions
I'm
for
dead
y'all.
serious.
Straight up, it is.
I have a few
Go ahead.
deep questions for that. I want y'all to like really consider. I'm actually making a video on one of these questions, but well, one is just kind of based on what you guys are saying. Is do you guys think that it'll ever be able to be fair? Is it gonna? Are
No,
they gonna come up with a system where
no,
it's gonna be able to be fair? I don't think it's possible. Me personally, I don't think there's a way that it's gonna be truly 100% fair to everybody. I
So
don't know if
Raleigh,
that's gonna be possible.
All
let me
right,
let
so
me.
this shit started probably when the first maybe TS4 or Off White, the first Off White. Remember when they did the top 10, the 10,
The Chicago's,
Yeah,
I would
you
say,
know,
was the first one.
or
Was it the
whatever
first one?
was the first ones. Man, a lot of
but
people were like, "Hey, what's going on with this?" You
but I
know?
think people keep making it about shoes though. It's life. Think about jobs, right? How do you get a job?
You work.
You work.
I mean,
Yeah,
like you
you
gotta
gotta
like put
go
a
there.
resume. You gotta like do
But
a
guess
lot.
what? I get 300 people to apply for one of my jobs, right?
Hmm.
Out of those 300 people, I have a system called Taleo that goes through and it completely kicks out people that aren't qualified. And it can be just based on one word.
An
It just kicks you
automatic. I was
out.
looking at
Automatic no. Like it just kicks you out.
yeah.
So I go from 300 to let's say 150. Out of those 150, I have a screener, someone that looks at it and says, this is a good candidate, this is a good candidate, this is a good candidate. But guess who resume I look at? If you reach out to me and I know you, you say, hey, mister, blah, 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 blah. I got this person that wants this job. Can you look at them for me? Most of the time, it's word of mouth. It's a referral. Once you network, bruh, regardless of how you do this, it won't change anything. Like, even if they get away from bots, bottom line is, man, if you got somebody that's working in the store, like people keep saying, well, they're going to mess up the stock. Man, if I know Dean works in the store. Dean comes to me and says, hey, can you secure my pair for me? Right? I secure his pair. You don't know what happened to that shoe. And as long as he gives me cash, you have no record that has been purchased.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: is that
The back door is probably like I would say I'm not going to call it evil. I'm not going to
it's not
knock
what you
people.
know.
I
It's who
mean,
you
I
know.
am actually going to knock people for it. You know, I am going to knock them for it. That's some bullshit right there. You know, you're taking it away from people, from the
This right
consumer.
here.
They're fairly waiting. They're fairly paying. You know, they're going through all the steps and
Whoa.
this bullshit where it's like,
So you know what? Let's do this. I'm glad you brought it up. Let's
yeah,
go.
let's
So
fucking
here we go. This is what I've been waiting for. I've been waiting for this since I started this whole channel, bro. Me and Dean. So at the bottom of this screen, guess what you got? You got two resellers. I don't give a damn what they say. Don't let them fool you.
all right.
They are resellers to the core. That's what they are. They are
I'm not to the
resellers.
core. Don't do that to
God,
me.
yes,
Don't
you
do that to me.
They are resellers, bro. Resellers. You are not.
Look, I wear my shoes.
You are
Yeah,
not a
cover the
reseller.
screen. You cover the screen.
So here's the thing, Max. I'm not a reseller either, bro. I tell them all the time when Dean and I talk, I'm not a reseller. I flip shoes. If I get a shoe and I want another shoe, I'll say, hey, take this shoe and give me that shoe. That's what I normally do. And the conversation has been, you know, well, and let me preface this before we start with this. I have nothing against resellers. I'm a firm believer in the way that America works. You make money however you make money, as long as it's not illegal.
I
As
have
long as
nothing.
it's not illegal, you're fine. So let's preface this before we even get started. Reselling shoes is not illegal, right? It's not illegal. There's
It's
no
legal.
law against it. There's nothing that's been said. It's unethical. It's a big difference. In the
Is it
sneaker
Did
community,
you say it was
yeah,
unethical?
in the sneaker community, it's unethical. It doesn't have to be a law to be unethical. It's all about doing something that you feel is unfair. So, case in point, if I say to you right now, I'm going to give you a job, right? You qualify, Max qualifies, but I give it to you because I know you. Bottom line is, it may not be illegal, but Max can say it feels unethical because you knew the person.
Okay.
That's what ethics kind of means. When you
Okay.
take it outside the realm of standards and practices. That's what it is.
Personal
So,
anecdote, actually. Personal anecdote. That's actually like I was talking to you earlier about I was going to move to Wyoming. I got this job. The guy, it was about probably a week after I confirmed the flight, and he literally like emailed me. He said, "Hey, I decided to give the job to a family friend who just graduated from Penn State with the same
there
thing,"
you go.
and I was fucking so.
That's illegal, though. That is illegal.
No, it's
There's a
not.
word for that.
It's not.
What's the word
The
for
word
that?
you're looking for, Riley, is nepotism.
Yes.
Nepotism.
But here's the thing with nepotism. If the person qualifies, there's nothing wrong with it. It may be inappropriate in your mind, but the nepotism means that you're giving favoritism to that person because of the personal relationship. If I have the same skill set, same resume, same education, and I get the job, you're trying to fight a battle that really honestly is like, well, the person qualifies for the job.
Yeah. So here's
Even if it
here's
is
my thing.
illegal, it's really fucking hard to prove. It would be really, really hard to prove.
Yeah, trust me. I have an HR background. It is very
Like,
difficult.
in my realm, in my field of expertise with that, Penn State is one of the best universities there. I applied to Penn State. I got in, and I couldn't go there because of financial aid, so I had to stick with URI. And it was the same thing. We both had the same expertise. We probably have the same experience. I don't know who he is, but I'm guessing that because we both did the same thing at college. And he went with him because he was a family friend. Like that's how it went.
Yeah.
And it's not illegal. It's not
It
illegal.
sucks. I'm telling you, it sucks. But man,
They gave
I
me
So
there was no
personally, to bring this back to sneakers, I don't mean to cut you off, but I do not think that it's fair to like compare that to reselling sneakers. I'm not, and
probably I
I'm
get
not-
it. But think
I'm-
about it. No one's
yes,
saying
I
that
do. I think the ethics are subjective. I think
Okay,
to certain
so
people.
say that.
So because which reminds me of that Satin Black Toe release. I was talking to a police officer in the store, in the Finish Line store, because I'm talking to the manager. And I said, when the manager told me I could line up, but the mall security told me I couldn't. And I'm looking at the mall security guard. I'm like, can you do anything? Like, I'm like, I'm just trying to make I'm trying to do what I have to
somebody else
do.
lined up, because you said earlier that some people lined up and you felt like they got an advantage, right?
Yeah. Well, so here's my thing.
not
It's like, what I'm saying is that I had busted my ass and I was there early, and I'm talking to the security guard. I'm talking to this police officer the day before. It is 7 p.m. the day before the release, and I'm planning on lining up, and like the security guards are telling me I can't and whatever. And and this police officer happens to overhear my conversation with the manager, because I'm like, yo, is there anything you can do, or what should I do? And he goes, oh, just listen to security guards. The police officer goes, keep in mind, I'm a 17-year-old kid. He walks up to me and goes, you know what, kid, you're a real piece of shit. And I said, what? And he goes, you're taking advantage of these people. You're a real scumbag. I'm like, and I said, I'm just a young kid trying to hustle and make money doing what I love.
Think about the term that you just used, though, bro. You said hustle.
Huh?
Most people believe that the term hustling is unethical.
Is it? Okay.
I'm not saying that you
I've never
are.
run into that.
I'm saying
No, I understand that. I've generally never ran into
hustling
that.
is unethical. That's the thing. I'm not knocking you, Riley. I'm not.
All right, so
Oh, no,
in
I'm
Riley's
taking it
defense,
personal.
I'm trying to give everybody else an opportunity to get these shoes that they can get. That would be the other side of it.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
and
see
I'm
what
not
I'm
disagreeing
saying?
with y'all. I just
Because I know how
not
to
an
get these
opinion I've ever
shoes,
heard.
and there's people that will buy it out there because you know what? If they don't buy it from a person like me, they're going to StockX, somebody that they don't even see. Me, we get to talk, we get to have a drink. You know what I mean? We get to shoot the shit. If we both get a pair, we get to rock the shit together. We get to take pictures of each other and stuff, do poses.
He's going on dates with all his customers. Is
Hey,
that what I'm hearing?
hey, guess what? As long as it fills the bag.
But again, see,
It's
and
still,
there you
and
go.
you know what?
Like,
They're happy. You know, like man, I
there you go.
appreciate you giving me these shoes, and I'll be like, man, I appreciate I can give them to you.
See, so you just said it. Like you just said it. So again, I'm gonna ask you, Max, just outright. What is your issue? I'm giving you a platform, even though it ain't that big. I'm giving
All
you a
right.
platform to express your concern.
And
What
we're
is
not going to take it
your
personal.
concern with a reseller?
Okay. I'm not knocking anybody. Okay. I'm
Go
not.
ahead.
You
No,
gotta
no,
tell them
no.
that. Knock their ass. Like, no, you knocking them. Knock their ass. Like,
Yeah, knock it. Go right ahead. Go for
All
it.
right.
Go for it.
So
Ain't nobody
Got
taking
these
it personal.
gloves. I got these gloves.
All right. The thing that I have is that here's what happens. You get
Thank you,
the
Nick.
you get the sneakers and you get the hype with it.
Look at this shit,
Everybody
bro. Look at
wants
this.
it, and then it might be something that it matches with an outfit. I really like these. I like the way they look. Immediately sold out because of the hype, and the only way it's available is by the resellers at a fucking astronomical rate higher. Four times more, 5 times more. I remember before I was into sneakers, my friend was into sneakers, and he was crying at the fact that he lost out on the Pirate Blacks, and they were going for like 12, 1300. Like they were going for 6 times more. Like you think of consumers. Sure, some of them may be able to afford it, with the resale, but
There you go. You said it. Some may be able to afford it.
yeah, but
And
a minority of them. You have the majority. They are not
well,
able.
first of all, the majority is not going to get it anyway because, like you said, with this release, there was only 80,000 to the public or whoever knows the number. Do you know how many
And
sneakerheads
my
they are?
thing
It's
is,
not available to everybody. So what we feel like
well,
our
technically,
advantage is, you know what? I know how to
it
get
is.
these shoes.
Like that's kind of messed up to say
Yeah,
that. It is
it's not
technically
available
available.
to everybody. And then
Now, not everybody may not be able to get it, but it's technically available because everybody can
Yeah,
download
and
sneakers.
guess what? You can still go get it.
Yeah. But
Just
at resale,
the price is exactly. It's not the fact that you can't get it. You could just get it at a different price.
yeah, which
Jesus
is
Christ.
higher.
and,
And
and here's the thing. And here's who sets that price. Because I hate to say it,
right now,
people
I'm
are
gonna tell you who sets that
resellers.
price. And everybody going through that one fucking is like a fucking price book, and it's called StockX and Go.
X.
Stop it.
That's
No, you
what
can't
fucked
blame.
up the game.
I can't blame them for that though.
No, I can't blame them for that. They're just the first ones to do it who can touch everybody in the world versus somebody
Blame.
who's
Wait,
just in one area.
that's not
Y'all
fair.
got me
Okay,
yelling in this library right now.
hold on,
You
wait.
got me yelling this.
So I'm gonna give Raleigh his time to talk. Here's the thing I want you to focus on, Raleigh. Let me just ask you this. Okay. So when you think about price points and all that good stuff, right? The one thing I will say is that I have nothing against resellers, but Max,
Of course.
I understand where you're coming from. I'm right there with you.
Me
brother.
too. I understand where you come
Me and
from.
you
I
talk
understand.
We talk about
Definitely
all
do.
the time. Like I tell them all the time, I'm not a reseller. And the one thing that I do understand with reselling or with anything is people say StockX, the resellers. The consumer sets the price. If you don't buy it, they can't sell it. Period. And I think people have to get away from that ideology. The only person that sets any type of market really is the consumer.
It's the consumer. Thank
Consumer
you.
sets the
Thank
market.
you.
Now, that
Max.
I cannot argue against.
Yeah.
Like, when I was in it for marketing, it was always told
You
to
set the price.
set-
You might not want to pay the price, but
Yeah.
you set the price.
I set the price. I ultimately set the price.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
I mean,
Because
kind of
you know
sort
why?
of, we kind of,
That's
we
when I
kinda-
said like shoes. They bring out this like this type
Now-
of feeling.
now
And here's
You
the
gotta,
thing.
I gotta have these shoes in my hands. I gotta see these
go
shoes.
ahead, Riley, because I know you've been trying to get in you.
I want to listen to
Oh,
Ryan. I want to listen.
And like he hit it right in the money. I don't want to say you guys because I can't punch all the consumers into one box, but the consumer sets the price. And honestly, the culture, yes, was not always like this. And who can tell when it started? For real, a lot of what I see a lot in my research is the Galaxy phone posits were one of like the major like turning points where people realized they could make money. I think the money has always been there. People just didn't know any better. I mean,
Well,
No,
people
Riley,
always
what it is that they didn't have access now
yeah.
compared to back then when there was no gold or
Probably got to
StockX.
think about it like this
That's
too.
the thing.
The way that
Like
you're looking at the money
sellers can dump it off to the consumers that will pay.
and you look
Like,
at the
man,
money
you look
piece of
at the numbers right now. If you go on StockX and you're gonna see how many pairs sold within these past couple of days, and a lot of pairs just touched down, it's already 1,600 sold
but Riley, you knew that they had value though,
at a resale price.
right? Let me tell you how you knew that they had value. Go back to the 90s and the 80s, people were dying over shoes.
of course.
Everybody knew that there was money involved. Here's the thing. The problem was when shoes were never considered to be a commodity until now. Shoes are a commodity. You know, you can damn near create a stock off of shoes if you really wanted to.
Of course. I mean, StockX has
really want
portfolios. They literally
Exactly.
have portfolios.
There you
Like,
go. It's a commodity. So keep going. I didn't want to cut you off. I'm just saying, like when you said,
Go
well, the
ahead.
phone posits, it's been this
It's-
way since the bread fours.
It's been a thing, but now
Since
we
the
know
cement-
for sure. Like
Yeah.
it's different. Like before, it was a guessing game. There was no set number on what things are worth, and now we have this magical thing called StockX, which shows us the exact number what someone is willing to pay for it. Like when someone sets that bid, they are willing to pay for that, and you know that's how much it's worth. And,
Yeah, just like the world record. You know, this
So-
is the
so explain this
fastest.
to me
This is
then.
the fastest 40-yard
Both
dash.
of you explain to me what makes y'all so damn great. Like since y'all are resellers, what makes you all so good, and what makes you so better and so. Because here's the thing, I can tell you what people feel on the other side. Max, you can tell me if I'm right or wrong.
All right.
People feel as though you all are unethical.
Mhm.
You all are only in it for profit.
I wouldn't say that fully. Like, I do admit
Mhm.
that y'all are seeing this as the business venture. While it is technically, I'm not like
Haters in the room. I just saw his name. I'm so sorry.
I don't hate you like for everything, but like
as a
But you feel passionate about that.
I feel like the opportunities that I could get these hits are lessened and less and less and less
So-
with the resellers.
So you have contempt for them in a way because of that.
Work
I
harder
do
than me.
Yes.
So okay, so there you go.
Work. Here's this is gonna sound really. This is make me sound like an asshole, but this is my thing, my thought process. If you want to shoot that bad, work harder than me.
Okay.
That's how the world works. That is how the world works to me.
So what do you
And
mean
maybe
by
that's
that? Like what do you mean by work hard?
Because
You do-
if
I
I'm
know you're
It's
not-
basically like beat us to the checkout line.
How?
If you're, oh man,
I'm
that's
so
a whole-
sorry.
Yeah.
Like
How? There's
How?
you have man. I didn't know how. I did my
no,
research.
no, but hear me out though. When I say that though, how?
Yeah.
So
You have to be.
talk about body,
I'm being straight up. I'm being straight up. You have to be digitally.
I
fast.
totally miss it. I
So,
totally miss it.
if
You have to be
body,
what's going
digitally
on.
fast.
don't you have to know how to use them? You got to have the money. You got to have the resources,
Yeah,
right?
it's not as simple as people think.
Okay,
It's a lot
so-
of stress. It's a lot of stress to it. It's a lot of trial and error. It's a lot of like, what the fuck did I just do?
So
Or
again,
what the
my
fuck is
question
this?
to you is: when you say to me, "Beat you to the punch," how can I beat you to the punch if I don't have the resources, if I don't have the software, the technology, and
Mhm.
also three, I don't have the acumen or the skill set to use a bot? Some people can
I
barely
got
use
you.
And then also the networking,
Hey,
with
hey, guess what? This is what I'm gonna tell you. I said, Max, you ain't gotta worry about those shoes. I got you. But it's not gonna come for free. That's all I'm saying.
all right.
Like, how does that person? I can get them for you. How? I know. I'm educated about it. I know how the network works. I know how the botting works, the servers, whatever it is that needs to get this shoe. Guess what, Max? I got you.
Okay. All right.
So
All right.
you know a person who really wants to wear the shoe is like, man, you know what? I appreciate you. What are you charging? I'm just like, well, you know.
I appreciate you. All right.
That's bro. When I've never heard nobody say, "Oh man,
Has anyone actually said that to you? Has anyone actually said, "I appreciate you, fam," like something like that?
hell yeah!" You should
okay,
go to the
I'm
group page and
I'ma
be
be
like,
honest.
"Hey, I
So-
appreciate
Max,
tag."
I'm an enabler. Dean and I are like, we are friends and business partners. He
Okay.
has solidified some deals for me that are resale price. So I have actually appreciated him because the way that I operate, I have to work and I'm around, sometimes. So maybe I'm an enabler, like maybe I enable him, to
Yo,
do this.
Dean,
No,
killing
you're
me,
not
man.
an
Killing me,
enabler, man, but you need help. And I'm that doctor.
What the hell?
A doctor.
What?
Bro, it's like, hey man, I need help getting these shoes. Right? Because you're trying to feed your addiction. Well, guess what? I'm
Make
that
this
doctor
like a
who can
pimp.
get you.
Like, what the hell?
Dude, doctors are supposed to stop. Dude, doctors are supposed to stop an addiction, man. Like, doctors.
I will. As soon as you done paying for this shoes for resale, you'll be like, you know what? I'm done paying for these for retail.
What? So you get people addicted to coke? It's just true.
Now you're already addicted.
Oh my-
You were already addicted to shoes before you met me.
Oh
What?
fuck.
If you're a
That's
true, if
crazy.
you're a true
I
sneakerhead,
don't, I don't, I don't.
if you're a true
Like, you always,
sneakerhead, you
and you,
already been addicted to
Are
I'm
you trying
shoes
to
looking
tell
at
us
before
that
I
you're
you.
a drug
came.
dealer?
Sorry, y'all.
Hey,
Is
look,
this
I'm
what you're
gonna tell you
trying to
this.
tell us?
I'm gonna tell you
Addicted
this.
to
Before
drugs, you are
before
committed.
you got into sneakers, right? There was no StockX because you were already addicted to sneakers. When StockX became available, it even increased your addiction because now you can get the shoe. You just have to pay the cost.
This some bull crap. Like, I can't believe you said that.
Nick,
Okay.
These comments,
All right.
bro. These comments are
Damn.
fucking
let's
hilarious.
Damn.
debate, man. This is soul debates. Let's debate
It's a
about
soul
it.
debate, and it's
Debate
like,
about it. Debate me. Debate
but
me. You want the shoe? I got it. You know what I mean?
All right. But the problem is that the way that I come to you is that I lose out on the original opportunity due to all of the advantages that the average reseller has.
Alrighty.
okay.
I agree
Here's
with
my
you on
question.
that. But guess
Here's my
what?
question.
If
I'm
it's
listening
it,
to
it
your
gets
question, Riley.
it's guess what? Someone else is gonna do it.
Okay.
Even if someone else does it, and here's the thing: is are you mad at Target? Are you mad at Walmart? Are you mad at
Yeah.
any of these other
I'm gonna
companies
tell you,
that
I
work
don't
as
know.
middlemen?
Go
Wait,
I
wait,
haven't
wait,
been a
wait.
target in my life.
Stop.
just a
Stop.
comparison. Just a
Wait.
comparison. It's
I
like
can't.
gas station. Like, hey, I got the cheaper gas. Where you going?
No, no, no,
Oh,
no. I can't do that.
Why not?
Like, you
Says
cannot.
who? I
Why
just
You
did it.
can't
not?
say that
You
'cause
got them to spend money with you.
no, it's very different. Like, it's very different.
All right.
So when
Go.
you start moving products and all that good stuff. You have mileage, you have fuelage, you have transportation, you have labor. You pay all of that, right? The concept that people have against a reseller is okay. The shoe is 160. How in the hell does a shoe that costs 160 go up to $1,400 freaking dollars?
Because
Okay.
of you.
No,
Because of
no,
you.
Riley. No, Riley.
Why it happened.
Riley, no, it's not.
wait, whoa,
You
wait.
know,
Actually,
no,
hold
no,
on.
no, no. It's not it. It's because the companies want to limit the shoe.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
They limit the shoe, bro.
and the supply then brings up the demand. Like,
So look, I'm gonna tell you
it's not
something. As a
entirely
reseller,
the company is
as
also partly at fault. But then
Supply.
there's also
let me become a sneakerhead right now.
My economics
Like
teacher
if
would have just yelled at you.
let me
Close enough.
become a sneakerhead right now because if I want a shoe, I'm gonna buy it. At what cost? Who knows?
That hurts
If
my
I
heart.
really want that shoe.
That hurts my heart. Like, I can't believe that we actually said this, but I get it.
Like,
I
do you
think
think I paid for some off-white Mentos at retail?
okay.
At some point that I did, and I fucked up and sold it. But now I'm trying to get it back. I know in my head, like, I know I'm
Well,
gonna have to pay for these shoes
I think also there's
more
another
than retail.
there's another issue that exists out here, and I believe that people like to talk, but they don't like to come to have a conversation. And I think where the breakdown is really when you look at a consumer consumers get exploited all the time, regardless of what anybody feels. I mean,
Of course.
that's the whole point of a lot of this. Most consumers, we do get exploited, right? But I don't think the consumer realizes how much work goes into trying to be a reseller. I actually tried to bot, and that's how I tried to
Yeah.
get shoes. And
Yeah.
I did not realize how hard it was paying for the proxies, constantly losing, the time, the effort. I didn't realize it. So I backed out of it.
The knowledge period of how
Yeah.
to even run it.
I backed out of
Like,
it.
for
I'm
real.
like, I can't do it. Like, it's too much.
You can't have a Porsche and not know how to drive a stick.
And
Yeah.
I've never
And
bought it
expect
in
to
my
win a
life.
race.
And that's something And wait, hold up. They don't give them to you for the same price they get it for. They sell it to who can afford it. And that's a good point. And like, I've never bought in my life because for me, botting would ruin the fun for me. Part of the fun is always going manual. And it's blame it on Nike, blame it on whoever. But a supply, if the demand exceeds the supply, discrepancy is created. And that's where we make money, is that discrepancy. And if we're not making money, someone else is, and I guess that's not really an excuse because that's not really an excuse.
Yeah.
Oh, someone else is going to make the money, but it's more like
Max, do you feel like that about just shoes or any product? Period.
Actually, I sort of feel probably the same way
With anything.
about
So
hockey.
let's just. All right. Cool. So peep this. Sports events.
Oh, you
Play-
asshole!
I saw it
That's
coming. I saw it coming. I totally saw it coming.
Fucking shit. God damn it.
I'm gonna tell you right now, tickets are different when they sell it and
My
for when.
argument against us.
Oh yeah. You can't. You. My thing is, are you just like this versus shoes, or you just in general? That's what I'm trying to see because shoes bring a certain type of feeling out because we wear it, we touch it, we breathe it, we take pictures with it.
Good comeback.
You know what I mean?
So here's my
Versus,
question.
Now, the one thing about ticket botting in New York is
Mhm.
you cannot buy tickets. If you get caught botting tickets, I don't know if it's a federal or a state offense. I don't know, but I do know that it's illegal and you can't do it. But to his point, if you think about it, a lot of, when you look at sporting leagues or whatever, and you see certain people in the stands, it's simply because the average person can't, not certain people in the stands, but the lower seats, the seats that are in demand, it's really because that seat may be $250, but they've botted it and they scalped it, and now they've risen the price to $600. So technically, you could get the ticket to go and watch your favorite team, but the problem is, the reseller has gotten hold to it and he's skyrocketed the price, so you can't go. Some people have never been to a sporting event because they can't afford to go, and the ticket is only like $75.
like the Super Bowl, like those things go for 3,000 because you know why? It's a limited seating and it's only one game.
Yeah, no, you're right.
You
You're
know what I
absolutely
mean? Like that's the same thing with this release. It was a limited amount of size 10s, size 11s, size 12s. My thing is like I'm not saying, oh man, too bad. No, I'm not saying too bad. I'm saying I got it, just at a different price. That's the difference between somebody who's just doing it for I'm making money. I don't give a fuck, like culture vulture. Like I don't give a fuck about what you. I got the shoes. Do you want it or not? Okay, not get out of my store. You know what I'm saying? Versus me, I'm gonna tell you like, man, you know you want these shoes. I was able to get it for you. You know these shoes are resemble something. You like sixes, you like threes, you like ones. It's a shoe that you want. Why not pay for it? So at the end of the day, hey, you got
But
something.
how much do you pay for that shoe just because you like it?
Hey, but you know what? As a buyer, you got to be smart too. When the market is slow, you go get it. Like if there's a sale on steak, you'd be like, you know what? I'm eating steak this week because not every day I eat steak. You know, so when the steak price goes, be like, you know what? I can't do that. I got to skip that. It's
And
just,
keep in mind,
you just got to know when to buy.
there's a lot of things that are marked up, like prescription drugs are marked up. A lot of
Oh
things.
yeah, hell yeah.
But
Shit.
but people
Nike
can
themselves mark up the shit. It probably take about $10 to make
but
these
people can
shoes.
justify buying certain things like prescriptions to be marked up because you got to freaking live. And even though it may be wrong in some people's eyes, I get why. I think the issue though is how does a shoe go from, let's say, the Travis Scott. So a Travis Scott high, I think that's the most expensive shoe that he has right now, right? It's the high,
Yeah, I
right?
think so.
Yeah, I think it's the high. How does that shoe go from 175 to, in some cases, $1,300?
Shit, it's 2,000, 1,500.
Yeah,
2,000.
like I
Yeah,
somewhat
say 2,000.
understand.
Just say 2,000. That
Okay,
shoe is high.
so 2,000. Or how does a freaking Jordan 1, because a dude put his name on it, put air on the side, laces on it, it goes from $175 to $3,000.
Because someone is willing to pay for that.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
I
why.
get it.
Because someone is willing to put that money on it. I mean,
But are they the
and
minority
I
or the
didn't put that,
majority?
huh?
Are they the minority or the majority? Because in my
I don't know.
mind,
And
Minority.
here's my
They're the
question.
minority.
Here's my
yeah,
question.
we're
Who are we
basically
selling
on the
to?
minority.
Who are we selling to? Because I'm making a video on this, and I'm really doing a lot of research on this at the
Huh?
moment. I have no idea who we're selling to when we sell on
You
StockX.
have no idea.
I can tell you who you're
Because
selling to. I can do market.
because
I've
no,
done market
because
research, Riley. I can tell you who you're selling to, and this
in my,
goes back to
no,
years.
okay.
You're not selling to a person. You're selling to either a person that can afford it, or you're selling to a person that has used credit to get it. You're not selling to the middle ground. Like
That's
either
not what I mean. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, are we selling? Are we simply selling to other people who are going to resell, or are we selling to people who are wearing the shoes?
you're
Are
selling
we
to probably people that's going to resell.
have sneakers moved from a consumable that people wear? Is it now a collectible item that people are? Because what happened with shoes people used to buy shoes, wear them, and then the demand. What happened is demand for a shoe doesn't necessarily increase over time. It usually stays pretty steadily. It goes like down because people are like 2 years after the True Blue 3s release, most people are not thinking about them anymore. Right, so demand doesn't really change, but the supply goes down because people are wearing the shoes and beating them into the ground. So prices slowly rise because there's less and less pairs in the market because people are buying them and wearing them.
But you're
But
dealing with a commodity, though.
but if you are dealing with a commodity, I think sneakers are becoming more and more commoditized, and it's starting to scare me personally when it comes to investing in sneakers
Because what you have is
because
what you said.
I mean, Alex, that's a
so
whole
many people
different.
buy off StockX to
That's a
resell
different
shoes.
conversation. That
So many
gets into the. This is reseller versus consumer. That right there is a reseller's trick.
But you know
It's
what
like
though?
stock market. It's like the stock market.
Yeah, you
It's like,
buy low
hey,
and sell
yeah,
high. You buy
yeah.
low and sell high.
But the thing
Hmm.
about this is now there's a rarity in the item or the shoe, right?
Hmm.
So if you see that the stock is low, like, oh man, you know what? There's only a few 10 and a half left. Guess what? It becomes a bidding war. There's a bid button on stock X, right? The thing is, the seller doesn't have to accept it unless they want to. So guess what he's gonna do is like, you know what? These shoes are going up. Let me wait a couple of days. Hey, this guy, he just bid up higher. The next thing you know, the next day somebody bids up higher. It's like, you know what? Let me wait for the trend. Next thing you know, bam, it's a contest between the consumer, between the digital consumer or whoever is trying to buy the shoe. Then next thing you know, they set the price for the shoe. You fucked up and paid $2,100 for some Travis Scotts, but the next guy down, he's charging something totally different. He's gonna adjust his price to what was last sold. That's totally something different. Yes, people buy to resell. They buy from StockX to resell all the time because you know why? They look at the shoe count. It's all provided for us. It's provided for me. It's provided for anybody that doesn't resell heavy. I'll give you that, and I'll stop it
I
at
think
that.
that I think
Can't give
there's
you all
still
the tricks.
I think there's still, and I kind of get where, and I do. I kind of get where you're coming from though. Like, um, man, to be fair, like I get where Max is coming from. Like,
Oh
I'm
yeah,
not a,
I get it.
I'm not a reseller, by any stretch of the imagination, and I own a pretty decent amount of shoes. But I can say out of like a lot of the shoes I own, I've had to spend more than what I wanted to spend to get it. Now that falls back on me because hey, nobody put the gun to my head, all that proverbial crap. No one did that to me. But because I wanted it so bad, I was willing to affect the market. And I was willing to kind of go in and say, you know what, I got the resource, so screw you, Max. I'm gonna go out and get the shoe. And I'm gonna leave you high and dry because now I've set the market because I paid $400 for it. Now you gotta pay $400 for it. And part of me, I gotta admit, man, I feel a little bad about that.
Yeah.
I do because I
Hmm.
do. I really, truly, truly do. In the sense of who am I? I always ask myself. I remember, and I throw a name out there. Like I said, it's not big enough, so it doesn't matter. 2J Kicks. I remember him making a comment and him saying, "I've done a lot for the sneaker community," and I was thinking, like, what have you really done for the sneaker community? Like, I haven't seen you do anything. Like, I haven't seen you give away anything. I haven't seen you offer anything. I haven't seen you do anything. So to Max's point, and Max, I want your point of view on this.
All right.
What do you think will make the relationship better between the reseller and the consumer? Like, what do you because resale is not going anywhere. I mean, it's going to get bigger before it gets smaller.
Well,
That's my opinion.
That's some philosophical shit right there. Obviously, you know, the reseller consumer thing, it's never going to be 100% like we're not going to like all love each other lovey-dovey like that. We're not going to be all
why
best
not,
friends.
Max? You don't love me.
I do.
I would love
I
it.
love all the sneakers.
Like that. In the short time I've been in this community, I've seen.
I appreciate you, man.
Yeah,
I appreciate the consumer.
It's the same
I
thing
do
at
too.
URI. At URI, you know, the group that I was in, the guys bought and sold sneakers to each other. It was like a daily thing, man. We were all talking about the shoes we had, the shoes that because I've done this. I have resold shoes in the past. I've done it. Like I'm not gonna, you know, lie and say that, you know, I'll never resell shoes. It's degrading. I've done it before. Like I remember I
Max
bought
is
a
a
pair.
reseller confirmed.
Excuse me?
I'm a secret reseller. Sorry, man. I'm a secret reseller. No, but I bought a pair of the Pirate Blacks for my friend, and he gave me them for $500. And then another guy in the group found out I had them, texted me saying $950. Took
So-
it immediately.
Now, I'm gonna say something, Max. I've been on your side up to this point. That is unethical.
It is. It is very unethical.
That is unethical as hell. When somebody sells you an item, this is just me. This is like my own messed up, twisted way of thinking. When somebody sells me an item and they give me a really good price on it, I feel compelled and obligated to keep it. Like,
Yeah.
never sell it again. That's just me, though.
Yeah.
But keep going. Keep
I
going.
mean, I was a broke ass college kid, man. Like,
Gotcha.
like my card had literally got declined when I tried to buy coffee, like within the last hour. Man,
Gotcha.
like, when you like Riley, you're in college, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so reselling is like, you know, a decent another decent part way of income, right? Correct? To help pay for
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I'm not gonna knock anybody for that. If that's how you make money, fucking go for it. Like that's how it is. But but the relationship between the reseller and the consumer, well, I would love it to be 100%. It's not gonna be, because there's always gonna be those people. There's always gonna be those guys that use the back door, that use the bots, that use the connections, and it's gonna be like, you know, it's not gonna end. But if the
Ding. It just clicked. It just clicked.
fuck.
I'm so sorry, but
Go for it.
it just clicked for me.
Go for it.
I have a problem with resellers that do things unfairly to secure themselves more pairs.
Mhm.
Then I was like, why don't people like doing like resellers? And then because then I think about myself. I'm someone who will never bot. I don't backdoor. I do what I can to get shoes manually, always. Whether it's waiting in line, whether it's getting them online, everything
They hate
manual.
They hate
And
you.
then
You are the person that they hate. They
Hey,
hate
man,
you.
look
Hey.
what my caption says.
I hate you.
There are haters in the room.
So-
That's what. Hey, Travis
so
Scott.
for
It
me,
didn't mean
it's
highest in the room. He meant haters in the room.
So, but like it's like dang, like people don't like resellers because they think they're doing something unfair. They think they're doing something unfair to secure themselves more pairs than other people. Therefore, they have like an unwritten advantage, right? And they have this some advantage, and sometimes they do. Sometimes they do, and sometimes you know what that advantage is. They have more money, more connections to invest into it beforehand, and they buy bots and that I think bots and backdooring are very touchy subjects. I think that's where it gets very gray for me. Just straight reselling is I have no problem with that personally. Like obviously not because I resell myself, but I think bots and backdooring are where it gets. I think that's where it gets tricky. I think for me,
I think you are correct.
A lot of the hate goes. That is.
I think you're correct on that. I think it's the automation
Yeah.
the process, not the reselling. Because like for me, I think nobody would care if I sold shit in my house.
Dean is
Like,
eating
here you
this
go, here
up
you
right
go, here
now.
you go.
Yeah.
He
Here you
said,
go, here you
I
go,
want
here
it
you go.
all.
I don't think anybody
I
would.
was,
I don't think anybody would care.
woo-wee. I'm just listening first. I'm a good
Yeah.
listener.
You're a very good listener, Dean. You are.
So, all right. With that being said, this guy,
Oh, who, me? Me?
like, there's different levels of doing it.
Yeah.
There's difference between somebody selling the candy at school
Oh,
and like a Costco who
oh,
buys in bulk so they can sell it
you talking shit?
to a different level. You
He
see what
is.
I'm saying? There's different levels in everything, man. It's just like the
There is.
fucking independent car dealership versus the major dealership.
Independent record labels and music versus the
Hell yeah. Look, it's just like fucking Target and Best Buy. It's like fuck. They tapped into selling DVDs and selling this other stuff. You see what I'm saying? There's
But at
different
the,
levels.
but Dean,
There's different levels.
at the same price point.
yeah.
No, because you know why? They try to beat each other's price. If they see it lower
No, I
at
get that part, but they're not taking it and
I'm gonna tell you
rising
this, do
the
y'all
price.
hate Amazon?
Because people won't
Do
pay
y'all,
for it at that
Hell yeah, I
price.
hate Amazon.
who buys something from
I
Amazon?
despise Amazon. I
Who
despise Amazon.
who buys something from Amazon?
Cat.
I despise Amazon.
Who buys something from Amazon?
I mean, I've bought stuff from Amazon, but I despise Amazon at the same time. You can't live without it. Like Walmart. I hate Walmart too. But
I'm
you can't
just
live
saying,
without Walmart.
man, they all resell this product. They're all
You can't live without
resellers.
Walmart though, bro. Like you just physically can't live without
I
Walmart.
can, man. I've shopped at. I boycotted Walmart
I
for a
can't stand
reason.
through fucking closed doors, man. I fucking close my door the entire way, and my fucking cat like is like right there. I don't know how.
Yeah, he trying to tell you, hey, man, snap out of it.
Yeah, man, you're going
Snap out of
crazy.
it.
Yeah.
Go get a bot and start reselling.
I think, but I do believe what Riley. I think Riley made a good point. I think people don't necessarily hate resellers. They hate what resellers do.
Damn.
I'm just telling you, bro. It's like
What
it's
do
like
they do? What do they do? I
so.
don't know. What
Okay,
do
so
they
here's
do?
I'm
the
not
thing.
hiding the world from my kid. I'm hiding my
Let me
kid
give
from
you
the
let me give you
world.
this scenario, then, right? Let me give you this scenario, right?
What do resellers do?
Like, let me give you this. Let me give you this.
I'm
Scenario.
interested.
Let me give you this.
I'm down to debate about it. What do
So,
resellers do?
so when you think about like a culture like working out, right? A dude works out every day, whatever. They like, oh, this person's a jerk. This person's this person's that, and immediately the hate falls on them if they ever get a idea or something in their head saying that person's on steroids.
Oh,
People are already intimidated by the fact that you're in shape, you're this and you're that. It's like one of the easiest ways to intimidate a regular dude, to just be in super shape. I mean, I just hate to say it, but that's what it is. You see women, and women look at other women like, man, her ass is big. You know, like she has a nice body and everything. She got abs, whatever. What do women do? They start hating. Oh, she probably this, she probably that, she probably that. Same thing with dudes. You see a dude walking around here jacked up, you like, man, the first thing coming to your mind is not he works out hard. What's the first thing coming to mind? You know, steroids. Like you can't get like that without steroids. You can't. So in their head, and I'm just thinking of a consumer, they're looking at a person that has a bunch of shoes and they're saying, think about when we see all those posts come up. Two things come out. Think two things come up when you see a post with a person sitting in front of a bunch of shoes. Either A, they're fake,
fake.
or B, he uses bots.
Back. Yeah.
Or backdoor.
A
Backdoor bot.
See, he's got his daddy's Amex. That one usually
All
comes.
the hate, yeah, all the hate comes up, and I think it's the unfair advantage that people have against resellers. Not you're a reseller by trade. It's more like you wouldn't be a reseller if you didn't have this advantage. If you were in it like I was in it and we were doing the same thing, it would be even playing ground because I could do the same thing that you're doing. I can make the same amount of money that you make.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's true. I'm just saying that's the conversation.
Yo, where'd Riley go? What the heck?
He's in the library, bro. So they probably on his ass.
Ah,
Like, you know how them school libraries work, bro. Like they don't play that.
Sorry. Yeah, no, I got yelled at earlier because I was mad
shit.
loud.
See, yeah,
I was
they
like,
don't play
I
that shit.
started yelling, and then someone walked up to me and they were like, "Yo, you were like loud earlier." And I said, "I'm sorry about that." Well,
Yeah.
oops. Look at y'all. Y'all got me out of my character.
yo, wait.
It's like I said, man. It's a tough. With this release, a lot of feelings came out, man. A lot of feelings still coming out. You
There's
know,
gonna be more feelings to come out.
hell yeah, it is.
This ain't gonna be the
It
last
is.
one.
Feelings are always going to come out. Feelings are always going to come out.
Feelings are always going to come out, and I think these are grown men complaining about nothing.
Really?
Really?
Oh man, I'm
Yes.
hurt. That hurts my feelings.
I'm sorry, not sorry. I
Dang.
like. It's
Oh,
like I
man,
don't
that's
understand what the.
I,
I mean, it's like
okay,
it's
to
another day.
to kind of reword what Riley was saying. I'm
All
just
right.
like,
Well,
man, look, man,
Reword that.
I'm sorry you didn't get the shoe, but guess what, man? I'm able to get the shoe for you.
Yeah,
No,
at
I wasn't able to get it
$500
either.
more.
At a fucking
That's-
high price.
Oh, of course.
I know, but I'm not gonna
course.
say. Of course, there's a fee for every service.
So I got a fee. Man, those crack prices, bro. Like those like Coke prices.
I didn't make those prices.
You know something about Coke prices? You got something to tell us?
I didn't make those. I didn't make. I didn't. I didn't
Riley,
make those
I grew up in the
prices.
hood. I ain't never do it, but trust me.
People
I
who
learned
buy these
all
shoes make
the
those.
Look, inflation has been a thing since. Look,
Inflation has been since capitalism has been around.
yeah.
Yeah, not true.
Well, Reagan economics. Come on now.
Yeah, man.
Oh god damn it! Let's not get into fuck. Let's
Yeah,
not get
so-
into
so-
man.
So Dean, you are unapologetically not just a reseller. You are a bother reseller. You like I'm unapologetic for.
Man,
You don't feel no empathy, not sympathy.
Hell
You don't
yeah.
feel.
Hell yeah, I'm really sad for a lot of people. I feel sad
Why?
that
It's coming.
sad that you didn't get your shoe, but it's still available.
Do you feel sad for me because I didn't get the shoe?
Hell yeah, we invited you on the show.
Yeah. Oh, thank
So
you.
that's the consolation prize.
Yeah.
Nah, we're giving him a platform to express his feeling.
okay, I got that part.
He's speaking for the people with the L's.
Yeah.
Am I wrong
know what
for
I'm saying?
not caring? Is that bad? Like I don't know if I'm like unethical.
I mean, it wasn't really.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
Really
You-
an L. Like my car got like
Oh, it's that I feel bad for. That I
Because
feel
you
bad for,
technically
because,
didn't
like,
lose. You didn't take an L.
So,
You got
that wasn't like an
screwed
LL. That was just my bank deciding to
over.
say
You got screwed over.
you.
yeah, you got screwed over. I
You
feel
got
bad for you.
Yeah.
But for the people that just took an L on sneakers
Yeah.
and then
That
they're
would be
like,
my first fucking
"Oh,
W.
I'm a Travis Scott fan. I deserve these shoes." Like,
That's
why
your
did you deserve this shoe more than me? Like, I don't
See?
understand.
I'm
That.
not saying
Tyler
that
tells
you
you.
more than
Tyler
you.
said to you, Riley. Tyler
Overbite.
said, "Look, Riley, you said you had a mob of people with you to get extra pass earlier, though. That's basically the same thing as a bot in just physical form." So I'm gonna let you reply to that, Riley. But hold on. This is the same thing I was saying when somebody said that Travis Scott was going to change his website. I'm like, bro, it doesn't matter if Nike changes it. If you have a ton of Nike accounts, you still can't stop it. Like, it doesn't matter how many change controls they place on the site, bruh. If I have 50 accounts, I got 50 chances to win versus your one. So I'm gonna let you answer, Tyler. But I just
So I the difference between that is that I was those people were getting paid for their services. And, like I don't know. That's different. I don't know. That's weird. That is a fair argument. And to be honest, I don't have a really thought out response for you because I'm
I'm gonna.
I got
I'm
nothing.
Gonna go
I really
ahead.
got-
I'm gonna go
I got
ahead.
nothing.
I know you don't have nothing. I'm like,
I'm
say?
gonna go ahead and speak for Riley. He's in the library, so he probably can't say a lot of words.
Oh, that's cool.
I guess I can
That's
say
what I'm saying.
yeah. That's right.
That's what it is, man. He was just trying to make sure somebody that he knows that wanted to buy the shoes secured repairs. He was doing somebody
No, I'll
else's
make it. I'm
service.
taking the L. I'm taking it. Look,
Tyler,
this is
I'm
it.
on your
This
side,
is-
brother. I'm right
the
there
bottom-
with you.
This is the bottom line. This is
Okay.
the bottom line. The bottom line is I was doing the best I could to secure myself a pair, and
Now, let me-
I failed.
Now
And
let me
the thing is,
make this clear. Before you go
was
on,
I giving myself an unfair advantage? Yes.
I do not knock you two for doing it. I'm just saying sometimes I get frustrated with the justifications. That's all I'm saying.
Okay,
I mean,
and I definitely agree with that. I
you should
definitely
be
agree with
like
that. That was a
unapologetic,
mean
like,
double
you know
standard
what?
that I was like,
I'm-
I didn't even think about that.
Exactly. Like, you know what? I'm just a reseller and I really don't give a damn what you think about it. Like, that's how I feel about it because that's really what it is.
Mhm.
You can't have any sympathy or empathy in doing it because at the end of the day, my thing would be I can make a compelling argument to you right now about why you shouldn't resell. But here's my question to
Mhm.
both of you. Are you going to really stop reselling?
I don't know. So here's the thing.
See,
Wait,
you already
wait,
see
wait.
what you just said. You couldn't even
You-
answer straight.
You said, are we gonna ever
So
stop
I'm gonna say it
reselling?
again. If I could give you a compelling argument, let's say I gave you a compelling argument. I'm not saying I could, but let's say I gave you a compelling argument. I give you a
Hmm.
compelling argument. And I say, hey, this is why reselling is bad, unethical, all that good stuff.
Hmm.
Even if I give you that compelling argument, would you stop? Yes or no?
Possibly.
Oh, okay.
And the
Oh, okay.
reason I say possibly, here's the reason I said possibly is because I've definitely fought with myself reselling before. Key, the black static release. I had trouble selling those because I got them for 220 and I had a 10 and a half and 11 and I busted my ass to get those shoes. I literally didn't sleep for 3 days to try to get those, and like I did the very most, and I sold them for $500 a piece, and it was difficult for me. I'm not even gonna like I knew I needed the money. I really did, because I was like, I'm about to go to college. Like, I need this money. This isn't just like, it's not like I'm just gonna blow it on whatever. But it was definitely difficult for me, and I'm not gonna act. And then reselling is something I don't see myself doing. I'm not a huge reseller. I buy shoes strictly to resell almost now. I don't buy almost. I barely buy any personals, and it is definitely that was a really good point when he said the mob of people was a very very
Yeah, it's
compelling
the
point.
same
And you guys
concept.
and you could tell that I didn't have an answer for that because I don't. I mean, and
I know
part
you
of it
don't.
was,
And no, no,
and
no offense to you. I just know you don't have a
yeah,
rebuttal
no, of
to
course,
that.
because
There's no rebuttal.
I don't think there is. I'm just like, I worked hard. I worked really really hard to get all those people there and logistics and get the knowledge of the store and all the stuff, and I think it's literally just a matter of it's kind of how the world works. It's pretty much whoever. It's not what you know, it's who you know, and who works the hardest with what they know, with the knowledge that you have acquired through the people you know, and what you pay to get, what knowledge you pay to get. Well, however way you get this knowledge, whether through be your connections, what you pay to get, what services you pay for, um, whoever whoever has the most eggs in their basket wins, and they're the ones who are going to get this most reward. So maybe the most eggs in that basket is having a bot and having 50 people standing in lines all across the city for you, or something like that. I mean, is it right? I don't know. I maybe yes, no. I mean, for me, I see myself. I see both perspectives. I see your perspective. You're like, these people are just, they get 100 pairs and they just drive prices up. And I see it from my perspective. I'm like, you realize how hard that person worked to get those pairs. That didn't come easily. Maybe it comes easy to them with time because they've been doing it so long. But initially, that's a lot. There's a
So is
lot
it
of
really
work that
not
goes into getting
easy
those
to
pairs.
buy? Like I've always heard some people say, like I see people post all the time, like cook, 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 and sometimes I'm like, damn, did they really hit like that? Um, and I guess that to me that is very frustrating. It's like, well, damn, I didn't even get a chance. Like this dude is sitting on every. I'll give you a good example. Your ass, Dean. Every time I look up, you hit on every damn release, and I'm like, well, damn, like, can I get one? Like shit.
Jesus, man.
Can I
That was
just get
good. I
one?
like that
Like
one.
just one. Like, can I get one under my belt? And it's like, I'll text you. I'm like, yo, you get it? You be like, oh man, I'm waiting. Then suddenly you'll send me like, hit one. I'll see you post something. I'm like, ain't this some shit? Like I don't even get a chance.
Pay my utilities for a few months and you can have them.
Yeah, like what do I I don't know, man. Like I'm trying my best to think, along and again, I get it. It takes a lot of work for what y'all do, but at the same time though, I gotta admit, I'm like, well damn, dude, like do I even when I was in Discord groups, I still couldn't get some of the stuff, bro. I had the links
For
and
sure.
everything and still wasn't getting them.
You asking me?
Go ahead, Dean. Go ahead, Dean. This is all you. This is all
Dean,
you.
I'm
I'm not.
looking right
I
at you,
can't
man.
help you
Go
this
do
time.
this. It's all you.
I mean, and I'm gonna go back to you gotta be the first. You gotta be in the first in the
That comment
checkout
was
line.
funny as hell.
How the hell you gonna be? See, you keep saying that.
You
Like
gotta
now,
be the first
like now
because
my head hurts.
the thing about it is, okay, you have a limited product, right? That will have some kind of value. Automatically, you thinking in your head, what a great business move because you know that the shoe somebody will pay for it. It's right there on StockX. If we don't have StockX or GOAT, who knows what the value of these shoes are? You see what I'm saying? If you don't have social media, people bidding for it, it doesn't drive me to say, let me go get these shoes. But there's these logistics like fucking GOAT and StockX that say, hey, this shoe will be this shoe will be that. There's this amount. It's all about numbers, man. Like I said, consumers lie, resellers buy. Resellers lie. Numbers don't. Numbers don't
So
lie.
now you're just making up stuff.
No, I'm telling you, it all
you,
got to do
Jay-Z.
about it's all I'm saying is it all got to do about numbers. Because if there's only 10 pairs going, who's gonna be the first 10 people to get there?
So you're not Jigger, you Sigger. You just put the C in front of the. You know, what the hell? Now you rapping on the live stream?
I'm just trying to compare, because hey,
When your message is going out to
we all listen to the same. I'm pretty sure some people listen to the same music. They know the lyrics. They
Yeah,
know
yeah,
what
yeah.
it is. That's just the truth, man. If somebody got 10 pair of shoes, say, hey, the first one to come here, they get it for this price. So now they're they got that special Willy Wonka ticket. Like, man, I want to go there. I want to go there. I want that shoe. That's what it is. I'm sorry. Like, there's millions of people in the world. Why would Nike do that? Fuck, I don't know. Let's go. Let's go up to the Nike headquarters.
I will say this. I think that the consumer is part of the problem. Consumers are always the biggest issue.
Man, you know what the problem
But
is?
Nike,
It's the
though,
freaking
the
manufacturer. The
manufacturers,
manufacturer is the problem.
The manufacturers they have some.
They're a problem. They're the problem.
They have culpability.
Not me, guys. Let's go to Nike.
Yeah,
They're,
they
Without
do
they're
have-
the
Without Nike,
resellers.
are we reselling?
Without Nike,
If Nike
Raleigh-
produced enough pairs, there's no.
Riley, let me give you a
Thank
conversation,
you,
Riley.
man.
I'll give you a better conversation. Do you know how much the manufacturers have a hold on everything? Without Nike, without Adidas, because we'll just take those two. They're the biggest two, right?
Okay.
Without Nike, without Adidas, you have no Instagram accounts. Because you wouldn't give a damn what somebody has on their foot, because guess what? We will all have it.
Guess what?
You have no YouTube accounts. You wouldn't care about a shoe tuber, because guess what? You wouldn't need to know their on foot or their early release, because simply put, you would have it yourself. You only get mystified by going into the social media platforms of IG and YouTube because of the idea of what they have. Not you really want to see the person. A lot of them are not captivating. And I'm not knocking them. I'm saying some of them, I'll even give you a better one. If you go and follow some of your YouTubers now, your shoe tubers, all those people, they're not even talking about shoes as much anymore. They're talking about all kind of other topics because you can't sustain it.
So my question is, here's a question
Have
for
the
you.
ability to get it.
What if Nike right off the bat charged you $1,000 for Travis Scott sixes?
Then people wouldn't buy it.
That also determines a lot of stuff. Like there would not be a lot of reselling if these prices
Nope.
were
We're higher.
already at
buy
$1,000. I guarantee you, it's gonna make that consumer be like, man, let me think about this.
'Cause you
Even
gotta think
though
about
Equilibrium.
that's basically what it is. Hey man, it's not my fault they came out for 160 and somebody decides they want to pay $1,000 for them.
If those shoes start at a price point of $400 to $500, number one, people couldn't tie up their money to get them. So you would be really gambling to say, do I want to pay pretty much? I want to buy 10 pairs.
Exactly. Where's the resale on a $500 shoe?
Shoot, what's the resale value? So I'll give you a great point, right? Fear God 1, the OG Black, right? Some of those go upwards of $1,000. But look at every other colorway since then.
Exactly. Just like just like the Hyper Adapt mags.
Exactly.
You know,
Those
at
shoes sell
first
nothing.
it's like the resale is not high because you know why? The shoe is already high.
Yeah,
Yep.
I sold a pair. Actually, that was
The
the
shoe is already high.
only limited pair of shoes I've ever hit on sneakers ever, and I sold them for. I was so upset because I sold those for $500, and I was like, I made it good. And then the very next week they were at 1,000, and I was
But
like,
this
are
culture
you-
is also confused because you know why? When those freaking Citrons and those Cloud Whites came out, everybody hit was like, oh shit! Damn it, I hit something. I got a shoe. Who want it? And they
Exactly.
Nobody.
next thing you know, they'll be like, man, hold up.
People complained about
He
not
got
getting
it.
it, and
He
then
got
they hit it.
He got
and then they're like, I
he
don't
got
want
it. It was like, wait, why does everybody have these shoes? Is this something that I
Exactly.
missed?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeezys for everybody.
Yeah, I
Yeezys
mean,
for
He's living up to
everybody.
his promise.
Kanye's making his dream come true. Kanye's making his dream come true. Yeezys
Ex-
for everybody.
exactly, but you know
that's
what's so
gonna be the
crazy?
next.
I didn't
That's gonna.
see anybody wearing the shit.
I wore mine.
I don't want to dip out on y'all, but I have to go.
Oh no,
We
you're
hear
fine.
you. You fine,
You're all
man.
right.
You fine. But
Have a
I'm just saying,
fantastic
man.
night.
A lot of people were posting. I got this still. I got that still. People are overbought. People thinking that they were lucky, that some specials happening, that their luck were changing. But
Text us,
nah,
Riley,
Nope.
when you get there, man.
there was just a lot of stuff. There was just a lot made. Concords, everybody thought it was gonna be limited. It's gonna be a lot made. Bread fours, everybody thought it was gonna be limited. Nope, there was a lot made. Nobody's talking about these shoes, but everybody's got to be talking about something that's limited release. Duh, think it's limited.
Yeah.
I agree.
People are going to jump on it and jump on the price. They're gonna bump
I
up the
agree.
price because of the limit of the product, man. That's what it is. That's
The
just what it
supply,
is.
the limited
sup-
supply.
the limited supply and the high demand. It's just crazy.
I agree.
With that
Bread,
All
being
the
right,
bread
man,
said,
Riley.
11s are
I
about
have
to
to
Hit
come
us,
peace
out.
out.
hit us up, man.
Y'all have a
Let us know you made
fantastic
it home,
night.
bro. But yeah, I'm right there with you, man. I think that we're at a point now where, like when the cloud whites and the citrons came out, um, it's so weird that people were always complaining about getting Yeezys. You know, I'm not a big Yeezy fan. I can't even wear 350s. Like even my cloud whites, they hurt. It's just not a good fit for my foot. But people were complaining, and then when they got them, they wanted to sell them. They literally wanted to purge them, and I think that hype conversation has killed. It's really killed the sneaker market, bro. Like it's really bad.
Yeah, but
Nobody
you know
wants to
what
acknowledge
I
that
do
it's bad for real.
I do see other people that never get to hit on these things, and then they say, "Oh man, I finally got them. I'm gonna wear them." You know what I mean? And that right there kills the hype because they already have it.
Yeah.
When you limit something, the hype gets built up right back, just like this Travis Scott release.
I don't know. I don't know what it's gonna take. I know that the next Travis Scott is in November.
Man, just the
Air
next
Force
release, man, just
Yeah,
shattered
the yellow one,
backboard,
right?
just
One.
like
Huh?
Wait, isn't the yellow one the yellow one? Wasn't that for?
No, no. There's another one. There's an Air Force One, the one that
Oh,
he
there's
wore.
another Air Force One. Oh,
Yeah, that comes out like in November, I believe, and we don't even know if it'll be November.
right?
But
That yeah,
it
the Air
comes
Force
out.
One with the little zipper that he gave to some kid in the crowd,
Yeah, that sold for $140,000. Oh no, $200,000.
something like
two
that.
hundred
Yeah,
thousand dollars.
two
Jesus,
hundred thousand dollars for a shoe, bro.
Don't hate me, hate that guy.
Yeah, see, and I
why
think
that me?
yeah, that right there, man, that has become problematic. And again, I don't think you can stop it ever. I don't think that you can do anything about it. I think you have to weather the storm, and hopefully, you have to be content with this. This is what I think people have to do at this
There's a way
point.
you can stop it, and I'm gonna tell you how they're gonna stop
I
it.
think what people have to do is they have to be content with what they got.
New York.
Yeah, he is, man. He is like the ultimate in fucking
I already
reset.
just met him, and I already know that's the fucking
Yeah.
truth.
Oh my god!
Like he compelling arguments and everything, bro. But I think you have to be content with what you have.
Yeah.
I think if you get away from the hype and your collection doesn't have to consist of 200 shoes to be a sneakerhead. It can consist of 5 shoes and you can still be a sneakerhead. But
That's actually my collection. I only have 5 sneakers, man. I only have 5 sneakers, and I
yeah,
fucking love it. Like
yeah,
I
you don't have
wear
to chase
them.
everything.
Well, I only have sneakers that I will wear.
How many shoes do you actually own, Dean?
I actually want to know that answer to that question.
Huh?
How many shoes do you own?
Sneakers do you own, Dean?
Like that I wear?
No, that
Like-
you own, like that you own for you.
Oh,
Not that you-
personally,
That you wear, yeah.
I would say about roughly under 20 pairs.
Wow,
Okay. All right.
damn.
I got picky over the years, man. Like
No, that's good.
my
I
style
mean,
changed. I went for comfort. I went for like normal,
Ooh.
normal
not-
looking.
that's not my situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, my situation is, yeah, it's not up there with the big ones, but I'm about at 100. Yeah,
How
like
many? Yeah, yeah,
easily,
yeah.
easily out of 100.
Personal, I
want to
don't
see
have
Riley's.
100 personal shoes. No, I
Yeah,
don't.
I'm about at 100.
There's a lot that I have doubles of
See, I don't do that. I don't buy one to rock and one
because
to
I
stop.
yeah one to rock and then one
I
to
don't
just
do that.
keep up because you know when I like something like I was like you know what I want a dead stock shoe of it also,
I
you
would,
know.
I think like 12 of my shoes are considered to be grails by most people's standards.
I'm gonna
Like
tell you
shoes,
right now, man.
if
Like
they want one in their collection.
80% of the shoes that I would wear are dead stock.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how mine are too.
Yeah, because
Like
if I
some
don't
of my,
have a double, I'm not gonna wear it until I get a double.
I haven't touched some of my shoes. Like they
Yeah.
just sit
I've
there.
worn all of mine. I have actually worn like each of the five, and
Okay.
all of them more than once.
I've tried them on. You can
Wait,
say
actually, hold up, be right back.
I've tried them on. As you can say.
I haven't tried some of them on. Like some
Yeah,
of
I've learned
them.
apart with a lot of shoes though. You know,
Yeah.
there's a lot of shoes that I used to like. Like I used to
I think
like.
I'm I think I'm there. I'm getting there to your point because you and I talked about that. I think I'm
Yeah.
ready to kind of give up some of my shoes. And I know if I give up some of my shoes, somebody gonna be happy.
I mean,
Just being
the
straight up real, bro. Like some of them gonna be really, really, really freaking happy if I give up some of my stuff.
Yeah. Speaking
Um,
of which, like I wear all my shoes, even my my Desert Camo 5. I've actually worn these to a club. Like me, and my friends. It was the end of senior year. We all graduated. We all decided all the other clubs. Brought these bad boys out, and
damn.
yeah,
here's my thing about that. Like I like the look of the shoe. It doesn't look good on me. So
yeah,
what should I do with it? That's when it became like, you know what? Somebody else wants this shoe, right?
Yeah, that's how I feel
If
about
they're paying for it at this price.
a lot of my Yeezys. I if my wife would let me do it, which I don't think she would, but
God
if she
damn it.
would let me, do it, I would probably give a lot of them away. A lot of my like the 350s, I only own like two, but I would probably give them away because they hurt my foot and they just don't look right on me. I just know that she probably would be like, "Oh hell no!" Like you can't give that shoe away. You know, we paid for it, so I get that point of view or that perspective. Um, I don't know, man. Like I'm beginning to realize that I have all these shoes, but the reality of having all these shoes, they're just sitting there. I'm not doing anything with them. I'm not wearing them. And I used to think, like me being a sneakerhead, and I think, people say I'm an OG sneakerhead, which I completely agree with. I am an OG sneakerhead. But I used to think like, okay, you know, I'm me not wearing them, I'm collecting them. But then I'm starting to think, I look at certain shoes and I say to myself, I'm not going to wear them ever. Like sometimes a shoe gets so valuable that I can't even convince myself to wear the shoe. Like I just can't. Like I cannot convince myself. I got rid of my Travis Scott ones. I talked myself, and I think you and Nadine had the conversation. I said, "Hey, man, the shoe was heavy," but I don't think that was really it. When I thought about it today, I think the shoe became so expensive that I could not justify wearing it anymore. I was afraid to wear it. I
Yeah.
didn't want to mess it up. I'm like, damn, I got $1,000 shoe in my hand, bro. And if I put it
It's like
on
an
one
art piece.
time,
It's like an
yeah,
art piece.
one time, and if it gets stepped on, it gets scuffed, I step in something, am I going to be able to look at myself in the mirror knowing that if my car broke down, if my wife needed something, if my kids needed something, could I legitimately justify walking around in $1,000 shoe, even though I didn't pay $1,000
Yeah.
for it? Could I justify walking around in $1,000 shoe and losing the value of it? That has been a really, I never thought I would say that and acknowledge that, but that's been really tough for me.
I mean, here's an interesting story. Like when I had my off-white one, Chicago's, I was like, man, I'm never gonna wear this shoe. I wasn't a big Jordan 1 fan when the shoe came out. So I was thinking like, what is this shoe doing here when it's going for this much? And I let it go. Did I have a problem with letting it go? No, I didn't. It wasn't one of my grails.
Yeah, see, there
It
you
wasn't
go.
a shoe that I valued like, oh my God, look at this shoe. This shoe has to stay with me for the rest of my life. I gotta pass this shoe down. to somebody that's a sneakerhead that's gonna value it as much as I am. Like I value if they I value threes more than ones as far as something that I would wear.
And that's how I'm with sixes. I value threes and well fours and sixes.
Yeah, if you
Over,
ask me what is my favorite Travis Scott collab, it would be the Jordan One Low because you know why? I'm able to wear it. I like wearing it. It's comfortable for me.
yeah,
As somebody who's an OG, I look. That's just my preference because I look more
I
for the
got you.
comfort of a shoe. I don't like really creasing a shoe just like the fucking one. That shit creases like crazy. Even 11s used to be the top of my list. Now it bumps down. But I'm just telling you, like we all attach ourselves to these shoes. That's what dictates the price. That's what dictates the limit that Nike releases, and it's really none of our fault. But whoever is making the shoes not making enough, or is not making the right shoe that we really want. Because there's a lot of shoes out there sitting of the same kind,
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
same kind,
I, I,
just a
I
different colorway.
yeah, I'm gonna have to really. I think over the next couple of months, because I have a couple of shoes coming in. I have to. I'm buying one.
You sure
One is
do.
being. Yeah, man. Like I got a lot of stuff coming. Um, but then like I had buyer's remorse. Like not like I felt bad for buying them, but I thought to myself, what was the point in doing it? And am I gonna really wear them? And I think that's where the fear is hitting me right now. Like I never wanted to be that dude. Like that was, I know that some people don't have personal connections, but I truly have a personal connection to why I'm being a sneakerhead. And
Then that's when it becomes pricey because like we attach ourselves to that
exactly
silhouette,
that's
and
the problem.
you're like, man, like if I'm
Yeah,
Max, man, I gotta have that shoe.
you're
I
right.
gotta have
Like you're
this.
right.
Like,
I'm beginning
what
to
would I
see.
do for it? It don't matter. I
Yeah,
just need it available.
I'm
I'll either save for it. There's that one item that we
damn.
have to have in our life.
Yeah, see now you're hitting me with like I wouldn't say
There's
it's
that one shoe. Like, man, you know what? I always wanted the five. So guess
yeah,
what? You're gonna do whatever it takes, and then next thing you know, there's a hype five, right? There's a different level of the five. Like, oh shit, there's the trophy rooms. It's
yeah,
limited. Next thing you know, you're going through your psychological process. I gotta have this shoe because it's limited, and if I have this shoe, I'll be one of the few of the 7,000 or 5,000 people that have this shoe. It holds you at a different kind of like level of that.
yeah. It's
And that's
it's
what
it's killing me.
dictates the price
It
of these
it
shoes.
to your point, man. It's killing me. I can honestly
I'm
say,
dead.
yeah, I can admit it now.
I'm dead.
Yeah,
Like, what are you doing, man? Are you just
I'm
collecting or what it is?
I'm gonna have to
So,
rethink. I'm gonna have to rethink this. Like I'm gonna have to sit down
yeah,
over the next couple of months or so, and I'm gonna have to really think about.
yeah, man, just and then it goes to, hey, man, rethink your place in this culture.
Yeah, I'm
Rethink
gonna
your
have to
place in
rethink
this culture, man.
because
Max,
even doing these lives, I kind of realized that what, and I want to say it respectfully. I love to interact with people that know more than me, people that know less than me, people that are on the same level. But you and I talked about resale, and one of the things that I do miss about the culture was when we all got together and we would be waiting in line, and we just started talking. You talk about why and how, and what shoe you copped and what shoe you got here, and that's all gone. And you see it within our communities right now too. Like we would, we could be on Facebook, and even some of the people that do YouTube, you could be on Facebook, bro, and be going on and on and on Facebook, going back and forth. But you wouldn't get on the live and talk to us, and we all get together and just talk about sneakers.
yeah,
Like that's big for me. Like I'm beginning to see that, what, everything evolves, right? That's why young rappers take over old rappers and they call them old. And I'm beginning to think, what? I know that this is gonna sound crazy, but maybe I'm too old to be doing this. Maybe I'm too old to be vocal. Maybe I just need to kind of ride off in the sunset like that movie Shane
yeah,
and just
but you
be like,
need
you
all
know what?
kinds of voices in different
You
generations,
do,
man.
but
Because
I don't think it's as
you're gonna
valuable
need
anymore.
because where is the non-experience gonna be without the experience?
I don't think they care. I hate
You
to say
you
it like
have to because you know what? Every successful career, you have to be an apprentice. You have to be an intern. You got to be a rookie. Like they have this thing called, they have steps. You know, you're a rookie, you're a freshman, there's different levels of whatever it is that you're gonna get yourself into. And this culture, there's different steps. There's 5 pair owners, there's 500 pair owners. You feel me? Like there's 10 shoe resellers, there's fucking boutique resellers, backdoors. There's all kinds of different avenues in this game. We're not going to touch on it on one show. Today was dedicated for the release, the app, the algorithm, the collector. I mean the OG sneakerhead versus the reseller. What I'm saying is, know your place in this culture. You know, you don't have to agree with the culture vulture. Sometimes you do agree with it. That's what we're here for, man. We're here to debate about it.
Definitely.
Tier 6.
What we'll do then, so thank you for joining, Max. We
Max,
obviously,
hey
bro,
man, we appreciate you, man. I know we talk. We can keep talking, but I know we gotta let you go at some point.
Yeah.
So we good talk, man.
Shit, right.
And maybe
I really like that you guys let me do this. This was actually pretty cool. This was really cool.
And if
you.
anybody's listening, man, you know you got something to say, you got some valid points, hit us up. You know our IGs,
Absolutely.
you know our Facebooks, you know the groups that we're in. Hey man, I'm open ears. You come up to me, you know I'm always gonna talk to you in a respectful way. That's it. We can talk, disagree, agree, hold hands, shake hands, but we're gonna do it respectfully. That's what Soul Debates is about. You need them TS6s, man. Let your boy know.
Fucking Citizens Bank, man. Fucking Citizens Bank, bro. God fucking damn it.
Yeah, that's rough, man. I hate to hear that, man. So
Yeah.
It's available, man. It's available.
if somebody is out there that has a TX6 that they are just willing to let go for a low price, please get with Max. And
Max,
please
what size are you?
do it for the culture. Do it for the culture.
What size are you, Max?
Not the vulture. Do it for the culture.
Do it for the culture, man.
What size are you, Max?
What side am I? What size am I?
Size.
I am 10.5. Yeah.
All right, so
I'm
don't
fucked.
worry, man. No, you're not.
Oh, okay.
You're on a cheap. You're on a less expensive side.
I'm on the less expensive side. All right.
And Dean has everything.
Hey,
I'm
man.
just telling you, I'm not making that up.
Power of
He has
resellers.
everything, bro. He has
Tyler
everything.
himself.
I'm telling you.
Hey,
You got
sometimes
everything.
there's a price that I gotta pay too. I'm also a consumer to a reseller.
So,
man, we
man,
appreciate you.
if we can look out for you, bro, we will, man.
All right.
I appreciate y'all. Thank you, man.
All right,
Got it.
man. Thank
Talk
you,
to y'all
gentlemen.
See you, man.
W's.
W's.